The Driving While Awesome podcast is recorded live to SD card at the Beeline Motor Club in Santa Cruz, California.
Welcome to Driving While Awesome. My name's Warren.
I am Lane.
Mark.
I'm Ben.
We almost, I felt like there might have been some little swap there of Art and Lane.
We could have swapped it out.
Part of the Haggerty Podcast Network.
Thank you. And did you see the video of Art claiming to be you?
Yes, I saw the video.
It's pretty good.
Welcome to Driving While Awesome. My name is Warren.
Lane. Yeah, it was all in. It was because you have the sequence in your head, right? It's like Warren, Lane, and I was sitting where Lane is, and I'm full on Lane mode with the freaking mixer
On the ones and twos.
So I just went straight to I am Lane, and then like instantly I'm like, oh man.
Well, I like lane mode. What else is that encompass? Uh-oh. Lane, is that a bug? Spider coming out of the mic?
That?
Mike Spiders.
Something.
Mike Spiders.
Just a little pubic hair.
I like spiders.
Do you?
Yeah.
Could you have one as a pet?
Sure.
You like spiders?
A tarantula? Like a pet tarantula?
Totally, yeah.
They just don't give anything back.
Yeah,
They're,
what is
they're
that?
really cool
Silk.
though. They're pretty. They're interesting.
They're
like-
pretty. They have like 30 eyes, dude.
there's some really cool ones out there, you know.
Silk, though, that's a good call.
Ah,
Like
you
you're
want to harvest
harvesting
them?
I mean, theoretically,
Yeah, spider silk.
spider silk.
That's an untapped market.
It's a dealio.
How about
What about-
spider milk?
Ugh. How do you milk a spider?
By smashing.
You can milk anything with nipples. But hey, have you?
I've got nipples, Greg.
Where are
Can
you at
milk
on
me?
snakes?
I mean, they don't. I'm not scared of them, but they're not like that interesting to me.
Yeah.
What about lizards?
I'm kind of down with lizards. I like lizards.
Snakes
Especially
are
like
so much
chameleons.
cooler than spiders.
They are cooler than spiders in some ways, but spiders are just. I like that for the most part. They're actually your friend. You know, they eat shit that they kill stuff that you don't want around. So they get rid of pests.
That's right.
I rarely kill them. I usually just put them outside.
Yeah. But spiders bite humans.
And they do it
Well-
in a shady way.
Yeah.
They like
In
sneak
shade.
up on you.
It's
You know?
nefarious.
No, you sneak up on them is what happens. You smash them when you're rolling over in your bed, and they're like, "What the fuck is going
no,
on?"
They came onto your
Why are there
swallow
spiders in
them.
your bed?
I swallow them because spiders in every bed.
Isn't it 3 a year?
Something
It's like
that.
30, I thought.
Oh, God.
No, it's
Oh.
30.
Oh.
Depends where you live.
Yeah,
I have a
exactly.
picture.
It's Lodi. It's 30.
Yeah.
I have a picture. It was not shareable content. It was not. The quality wasn't great. It's a spider eating an ant that I
Okay.
took a picture of yesterday in my
Pretty
backyard.
minor. Pretty
Yeah.
minor.
This is what you do during the day.
That's so minor, dude. I thought you like a spider eating a
Child?
But
yeah, like a child.
but no web. Like just like I was moving something in my backyard, and on the wall I was like, "What the hell is that?" And
Like
it was
it
a big,
jumped the ant.
It like jumped the ant, and it
Yeah.
was like a carpenter ant. It was a big one, a wood ant, and and it was just like a little wolf spider that just
Did it
was
have
like,
a hammer
boom,
and
like
stuff?
swooped up on him. I imagine.
Z square?
T squared hammer. It's all, hey, I'm a carpenter.
You've got a sock full of rocks.
You never know, dude.
Little tiny tool belt. That's so small, dude.
Yeah, it'd be so cute.
That'd be cool.
Nice.
Man, ants are so cute. How dare that spider kill an ant?
We've got a new car in the background here. This is a
Smelly boy.
Oh, is that
Chevy
Smelly Boy?
Malibu.
It's part of the bow tie
sick.
boys.
Bow tie boys.
Boy toy
Toy
boys.
Boy toy boys?
Bow tie boys.
This is our buddy Mark's high school car that he's kept all this time, and it's pretty awesome. But Art,
cool.
how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling high as a kite. Yeah, I
So
can
it's kind
smell
of
the fumes.
leaky carb, a lot of fuel in the air here. You gonna make it?
We'll see.
Okay,
It's a nice car.
we cracked the door just for
It
your,
is
in
sweet.
your honor.
Yeah. So
It
I
has
don't,
some crazed paint, but it's pretty cool.
I don't know shit
Kinda
about these
perfect.
cars, but I'm guessing that's like a 63 or 64.
That sounds about right.
I would say like 64, 65, but I don't know.
And those all
I don't know.
have like
I just made
literally
that
like
up.
every year they're different, right? Like their grills and their taillights change and shit.
Totally. Basically, most cars do that, except for 911s.
No,
Or even
not that
911s.
frequent.
There's,
Range
No,
Rover.
it's like now it's not every car. It's like every few years.
I think it is every year. There's a
It's
little
every
change.
few
No, there's
years.
facelifts like
Yeah.
after 4 or 5 years.
Based on how
those
much
are
it costs
major
them.
ones, but I think there's still like the bumper is like a different color now.
Tell me an example. I
Yeah.
can't think of
Any car.
This is
Like
kind of
what?
sus,
All
Lane.
cars.
I know, super sus, bro. You're
cars.
sus, bro.
Just saying.
You're sus, my dude.
There'll be one thing that's slightly different.
Like a ZHP?
Hey,
Wheels?
ZHP?
Wheels count?
Nah.
my dude, you're being super sus right now.
Yeah.
Don't even. You're so mid
And,
right now.
What does
By
mid
the- I
mean?
don't
It's like something about a cap and bussin' is all I know. Yeah.
You got Riz?
I'm so lost.
So, yeah, you're full of shit, Warren.
I don't think so. I think it's a slight,
no,
slight
dude.
thing.
There's like every few years they'll be like, okay, this year they did this, this, and this.
Well, maybe Tesla doesn't, update, but the other ones have little updates.
I don't know of any.
I don't know. I can't think of any.
Minor boys.
Yeah, I think there's software updates. They definitely do that. Or
There's option changes and like trim package updates,
Right.
but to change the die to make a
trim.
body panel or
No,
something.
I'm saying trim package. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might get a grill that's slightly different.
More like
honeycomb.
No, he's talking more like
materials or
maybe
colors.
a-
Right?
They will paint things different colors
Thank
and call it
you.
like a Westminster package
Yeah,
or
exactly.
a ZHP
That's
or
exactly
something.
what I was talking about Westminster this whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time, dude.
So on these
West
cars,
is-
the difference with these is like 1 year the head, like a GTO, a 65 has stacked headlights, 64 is side by side.
Yeah.
Like they're more significant detail
Totally.
differences year to year. Like 58 Chevy got really big and they got huge
I know.
fins. 57 had
59,
Yeah, yeah.
fins.
Yeah.
56 didn't. 55 was a smaller
I'm
car.
so glad you
like-
agree with me.
Well, it's before
No,
the
I'm
cars
talking-
even had
it all
names
changed,
too.
yeah.
I'm
Like,
saying it used to.
man.
It
Yeah,
That's what I
used
was
to.
saying.
No, we're all thinking.
Yeah, dude.
So the one that comes to mind to me is like think Impalas of the era, like 59 to 69, like they're just
Every year
constant.
is
Cadillac.
completely different.
So different.
Cadillac
67,
is
68, 69 Camaro. The entire car is different
Yeah.
proportions and
Well,
everything.
yeah,
Cadillac,
try your
fins.
Chevys too.
Well,
Yeah.
67, 68 are largely the same, except one of them doesn't have the little window. I can't remember which one
Yeah.
is which.
Like my
69
favorite-
has the fender, the line that goes
And
over
they're
the
whiter. They
fender
look like
and
a-
all that. Yeah.
Like, they're more of a-
Anyways, let's get. We don't know American cars. So
Yeah, but
Hey,
I
some
do
of
like
us do.
those.
Some of us are Mustang boys.
Some of us
that's
guys.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mustang boys.
Mustang changes every once in a while.
Dude, speaking of Mustang changes, someone sent me it was an article that on Stancework. I guess it was an article on Stanceworks, but a piece
In depth.
from years ago, and it was an '83 like IMSA maybe Mustang, and it was a motorcraft car, but it was black, which I hadn't seen, and it was a 4i car with like the plexi on it and notchback. I'm like, those are so fucking cool. Like
Pretty
every time I
sick.
see them, like
That
it's
is
so.
sick.
And then I went down the rabbit hole of like, does anyone make the DTM body kit for Fox bodies?
geez.
And
No one.
No one does. It's custom. They only
Yeah.
made a few of them, and I mean that's basically your. That's all in when you're like, all right, fuck it, 6-figure Mustang. I'm going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beast, right? Yeah.
or Fox body, I should say. Right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Be a nice one.
I saw the picture that's making the rounds recently of like a Lincoln Mark 7 IMSA car from like that same kind of late 80s era, and it
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
sweet.
Those are
I
really
think
cool.
IMSA anything is pretty awesome.
And I mean,
Yeah.
that was basically just like a tube frame with a body.
Right,
on it,
right.
Like a
Yeah.
different
And so they can
body.
Yeah.
lower them a ton and make them wider, and like so it changes the proportions a little bit, where it's like
Yeah.
definitely makes
Yeah.
them way more aggressive. But yeah, I actually really like. So Mark 7 is a Fox body underneath with
Yeah.
like the big glass headlights, and it's got the integrated kind of Continental thing in the trunk. Is that one?
Yeah, I think that's the Mark 7, and the Mark 8
8 is a little
went
more
to
sleek.
Panther platform. Where's
So
Joe
Mark
Polo
8
when you
Mark
need
8's
him?
Mark 8's really slim headlights,
Sex
right?
Panther?
So I like the
60% of
square.
the time.
I like the boxy one. I think those are really cool.
Yeah, those are sweet.
They are cool. That whole era, it was kind of like GNX style. Had that same era of styling. Obviously GM and
Like
Ford,
boxier.
but
Yeah.
boxy.
Kind of muscular.
Yeah, Buick built GTP, like IMSA cars, didn't they? Isn't that what Paul Newman raced?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
They had a couple.
Yeah, the Buick.
Oh,
and
those
I
are
think
cool.
Corolla owns one of those.
Or was those
Buicks now.
Oldsmobile?
Oh, Olds, huh?
Those were
There's
Oldsmobiles.
definitely Oldsmobiles and Dukes. Anyways, yeah, we just all of a sudden became
But they also rebodied those. So like I know the one Newman car used to be a different body on it than before.
Yeah,
like
back to
had
the
several.
tube frame point. That makes
yeah.
sense.
I did that.
What do you got going on over there?
I was just looking
RC
for a
car.
picture. Can't find it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Ben, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having
Coming out
me.
here. How's it going?
How's it?
Every day's a party.
Is it really though?
It is.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, that sounds about right. He's about 10 years younger than us. He's single and he lives in the middle of nowhere, so he can make all the noise he wants.
He's not single.
Oh wait, things change. You got a boyfriend, dude? You didn't tell us?
By the way, he can make all the noise he wants.
Yeah.
Is that what you're?
No one cares out there, do they?
That's why I
You can
have.
make
That's why I have
all-
the Mustang and the F-Type.
Dude, he has the noisiest neighbors behind him.
Really?
oh,
even noisier.
Yeah. Oh man.
They're like working on jet boats and stuff.
Nice.
And like,
Well, yeah. Isn't that kind of par for the course?
yeah,
I mean,
basically.
it's Lodi life,
Delta,
man.
bro.
Yeah. Keep
You
the
live
Delta
in, like-
Brown.
Yeah, you live in like limousine Lodi, right? Which is Woodbridge.
It is Woodbridge.
Yeah.
Limousine Lodi. Nobody's
I
ever
like
called
it.
it that.
That's basically what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, more or less, but It's the last place in California I could afford a house. So
That's
I figured,
definitely
why
not true. Definitely not true. 100% not true.
Well, I wasn't going to go to Clear Lake.
Bakersfield is calling you.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, anywhere in your valley, you could have bought a house. Your valley.
I didn't. Wait, hold.
Central Valley.
Did
of
I just become the
California.
Prince of the Valley?
Pretty much. Yeah, you're highfalutin.
Highfalutin.
Yeah, Florin, Clovis.
Well, look at this
Manteca?
knowledge. This guy knows all the valley. towns.
You're way better than Manteca.
Oh, I don't know if John Jesse would agree with that.
He's in Oakdale, isn't he?
No, he's Manteca.
Ooh, so sorry, John Jesse. But
Hey, they had water slides at one point.
they were rad.
I still have the
Word,
song
huh?
memorized.
They don't have anymore?
You had to slide down on a gross house sponge, basically. That was the size of your body. And if you didn't, you would get like your elbows bashed on the junctions between the sections
Oh,
of that.
yeah.
That was a good time. But Woodbridge, right?
Woodbridge. Yeah.
Where they claim to grow wine.
We do make a little bit of wine, and
You work at a cellar, right? I think you're wearing your uniform
He likes
today.
to
Unofficially
use,
sponsored.
he used the royal we a lot.
well, I was gonna say. I mean, I did bring you guys a gift because we did talk about wine. So
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, speak
Oh,
of the
wow.
devil.
Yeah.
Was this a
Fine.
setup?
Art's going to be all, bust that open. Let's get some cups.
Dude, old vine, bro. It's opened up. Oh, he's ready to roll, son.
Oh,
He just
no,
got done
you didn't.
pouring.
I ain't playing.
Tasting
We
room.
have some shot glasses up there.
We have shot glasses. No,
That
no
works.
actual
doing
glasses.
shots of Old Vine Zin, but no,
So tell us about this wine.
McKay Cellars is just a friend of mine, Mike McKay. He started a winery a couple years ago there, and we've been friends for about a decade. And he makes good wine and likes cars. He's an enthusiast and lets us host a rip-off of Cars and Coffee called McKay Motoring at his winery every now and then. Usually 6 to 8 cars show up. It's pretty kind of a big deal.
I like
It's
how
kind of a
I
big
like how
deal.
It's Morning Motors, you know?
What?
Do you guys have like a,
McKay Motors.
so you got, it's like a Power Stroke 250 with the lift. Like you guys got that type of stuff?
I mean, there was a lifted Tundra that showed up to the second one, so we have some Tundra enthusiasts, but it's a little bit of everything.
What was the sickest
A little bit of
car?
everything. You're talking 6
There
cars.
was the car that had
So
the best
much variety.
story was I think it was a 260 or 280Z Datsun, white with blue stripes. And the original owner was a ski instructor up at Tahoe somewhere, and that was his daily.
That's cool.
So it had years of lift tickets and everything in it. Just
that's
a nice
cool.
story. I think they pulled it out of Truckee. So that car's got a good story. But one of the guys brings like a F8 Tributo, and there's all kinds of stuff. So it's
All kinds of
all
stuff.
kinds
Well,
of
I mean,
stuff. All
8
six cars are
cars,
different.
dude.
Six
Hey,
at a
there's
time,
never been
though.
2 of the same car technically.
I guess 6 at a time. They're like Pebble Beach. They only invite you once,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, once you've won
Yeah.
the
It is
awards, you can't come
relatively
back.
highfalutin. So no,
I
it's just trying to bring a little bit of car culture out there to the valley, other than the tri-body Chevys and everything. So trying to open it up to something a little bit different.
And
But
you're born and raised Lodi area?
born in Fresno, but raised in Lodi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're there. You're not going anywhere.
It's
He was born in Fresno, raised out of Louisville.
raised out of Lodi, straight out of Lodi. No, I went to college for 4 years in SLO, and then I moved to New Jersey, or I moved to LA, then New Jersey, then the Bay Area, then back
New
to
Jersey's
LA.
probably like the valley, right? Kind of.
Yeah,
Depending on where you live in New Jersey.
Yeah,
I
really
mean, I liked my time in New Jersey. The bagels are definitely better than they are here for
Okay.
sure. But
know
other
what?
than that,
It's the water, right?
it is the water.
Yeah.
That's why the pizza's better too. It's good to be back.
Yeah. So, but to my point, you're not leaving Lodi. That's it. Woodbridge, we're in.
No, I'm always down for a new adventure.
Oh, because every day's a party.
Every day is a party. So
Never know what's
yeah,
gonna
you never
happen.
know. Somebody says the right opportunity
Hey,
comes along.
as long as there's sleeveless vests, he's there.
Oh, well,
You mean my
that's-
uniform?
Yeah.
Yes.
as opposed to sleeved vests.
Dude, those
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Sleeveless jackets, I meant? Or I don't know. What
Kinda
that
like,
is.
sleeveless jackets.
assless chaps. You're
Yeah,
like, yeah, they're assless.
Dude, there's some so there's roads out there and on the Delta that
Nope.
I wish we could just like close off though, because they're narrow,
Yeah.
and they follow the all of the rivers and all of the little like fingers of all the different
Canals?
canals.
Did you say narrow roads?
Like the
They're
Delta.
very narrow roads.
Yeah, they
and,
are.
and they're super twisty and they're awesome. But
There's no elevation change, so it's very 90-degree turnish.
no, not
flat
just
stuff.
90, but
There's a little bit of elevation
Little
change
bit
in
of
terms of
dips.
like dips and bumps kind of thing. So you're
Yeah.
talking
That's
plus or
fun.
minus 10 feet kind of deal. So
Yeah.
That's kind of fun, though. It's like
fun.
roller
Yeah,
coaster.
It's
too.
roller coastery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
And
you
it's-
never get a good run out
Why
there.
do
though.
you?
no,
Really? I've been out there and there's nobody.
it's like Diet 229.
Well, it's usually because I'm going like
like
to a
4th of July?
destination when everyone's going.
Yeah,
Like
right,
I don't really go out there just like on a random like Wednesday or something. I imagine maybe that's when you can actually get.
What about a lazy Sunday?
A lazy Sunday
Lazy
could be
Sun-
yeah better than a lazy Susan. Definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Do you have any Delta time?
Everybody in the valley has Delta time.
I
It's
figured.
Yeah. All the speakers on
How
your
many
boat.
hours have you put in?
Pontoons?
not as many as I would like to. No, we didn't have a boat growing up, which was kind of like the prereq to go out there. But there were some good
Makes
restaurants,
sense.
Juicy's and stuff out there.
There's some fun
so
stuff.
there were some cool spots.
My brother keeps a boat out there.
Does he?
Shane? Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I've never
Fishing
been
boat
invited
or
on
like
it.
ski
No,
boat?
ski boat.
Dang.
Yeah, I never got that phone
How
call.
come you don't go? You
You
don't
don't-
boats, huh? Jet ski too close. Jet ski
Too
adjacent.
close to a boat. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Too close to a jet ski. Yeah.
This is
And they
even
do.
worse,
They
though,
like
yeah.
fireworks. You know, and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
you don't like fun?
It's like a whole
Yeah.
thing.
and loud music.
yeah.
Works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good times. What's the most popular car in Lodi?
White Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah.
Every
Ford
single
F-150.
every single soccer mom has a white Chevy Tahoe.
How about
And
car?
Car?
Probably Mustang.
Charger, Challenger?
Charger Challenger is pretty
No, it's probably
popular.
like a. Yeah, I guess that would be a good one. Charger Challenger.
I mean, I bet like a Toyota Camry is really popular too.
It's kind. I mean, the entire town is basically a grid, so it's all.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, I thank you for making
It's
the
very
cruise.
square.
I know. No, it's that's why it's nice when you guys have morning motors and stuff out here. Everybody says, you know, you're waking up at 6 a.m. and driving 2.5 hours each way, and I go, yeah, because it's nice.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a change of
Get
scenery.
out there. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Do you guys want to answer some questions?
Word.
Oh, man, you know.
Sweet.
Got some stuff for I think Mr. Roget here. Is it Roget or Roget?
It's Roja.
Well, that's what Spike Ferriston called him when he said he
God.
complained about him. And
yeah.
what did he say? They sent him the marketing intern instead of someone with authority.
Wow. Just tell them what you really think.
Oh man.
Are you the marketing intern?
No. Unfortunately, I'm no longer in marketing.
Okay.
Spike doesn't listen to our show. It's okay.
Yeah.
Spike and I are fine.
And I don't listen to his show either.
Whoa, shots fired.
Do you guys?
No, I don't listen to show.
No.
I am not a fan.
So yeah, shots
Yeah.
fired. SV Expert says, if you were to have a pet car pairing, period, what would you have on the leash? Exotic and sea creatures allowed. Not sure exactly what he's looking for here.
I mean, you can have like a caiman
Oh,
with a crocodile or something.
Yeah.
My mind goes immediately to Pantera.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's sick.
Hell yeah.
I'm thinking a Rolls Royce Cullinan with a white tiger in the back.
I like it.
Cullinan?
Wait, so I think it has to be the car is
Oh.
the...
That's what I thought. Yeah. I'm like, what is a Cullinan?
Oh, wait.
Rolls Royce Ghost, and you put
No, I don't
you
think it
put
has to do
Casper in the
anything. It
back.
just
Different
has to do
Casper.
it. It just has to be a
No, I think
pairing.
you're right, Ben. You can do
It's
anything.
just
Oh, you can do
anything.
any pairing. Oh, I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
the car itself, like sort of like
Like a
dictates-
DeLorean and a Condor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Wait, what?
Why not? Both have wings.
I'm sticking to mine.
Mice and men.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to say like viper and a snake. or
Right.
what-
Yeah, but if the
you know,
snake's
like
with you in the car, it's gonna bite you.
No, maybe it's in
Oh,
the
you
trunk.
can put
Dude,
it in,
in a basket.
Yeah,
What
you
if
can
it's
put it in
a-
a
then you
clear
flew-
box.
What if it's a rubber boa and they don't bite?
Ah, that's a good point.
What if you're a snake charmer and you just control
Dude, where are you from?
Dude.
it? Where are you from?
Lane, you like answering these kind of questions.
Yeah, I just said a bunch.
Snake?
No, Cayman was your first one, but
I have a Boxster spider with a spider.
Ooh, yeah. What kind of spider?
Brown recluse.
Yeah. Sea creatures are allowed, just so you guys know.
All right. So seahorse, you definitely want a seahorse as part of your
Volkswagen
thing.
Fox. Put a fox in it.
That's good.
Oh.
Fox Body Mustang.
Fox body Mustang. Panther chassis. Crown Vic. Joe Polo can have a Panther in his Marauder.
Oh my God. How about a Coyote for your Coyote V8?
Mine's a Voodoo V8.
I hate that. I hate
Voodoo. Yeah.
Voodoo.
Don't say that anymore.
Dude, what if you put Mega Squirt on it?
And Mountoon? Mountoon Voodoo? Swedish Cadillac says, do you have any stories of an older kid in your community who had a ridiculously cool car growing up? Older kid in your community is funny to me.
It's an old.
I think
ass
it's just
kid.
like if you're like a senior when you're a freshman situation. Is that what he's talking about?
or the neighbor's like college
Yeah.
kid son type. Oh, college kid son.
College
by the way.
kids. Oh man, that's one hell of a freshman year.
That is a bad kid.
So we had this one, and it was Forrest Lippman when we were in high
Still
school.
the homie.
Yeah, he's the homie. Forrest
Yeah.
Lippman. He was at Morning Motors last weekend.
Nice Nova, man.
Yeah,
So
in
nice.
his Nova that he had in high school,
one,
and
right?
that's the car.
Whoa.
So he had that car in high school. It was primered, like the beige primer.
Oh yeah, like the Monte Carlo and Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, exactly. So it was that
Good callback.
His car that he has today was that color. It had a NASCAR engine in it, like this built 502 or whatever it was. And he was fast as hell, and he would go up to 4 lanes and smoke everyone. And that was like, everyone knew like that was the fastest car. So, and it was super cool. And he was older than us,
Yeah,
and he was probably like a senior when I was a sophomore or something like that. A couple years older, maybe when I was a freshman. I don't know. Maybe he was actually like already out of school when we were like juniors and going up there, I think. So he was like, I get older. They say the same age.
By the way,
all
he's
right,
still
all
has,
right.
He's still the same old G too. He looks
Yeah.
identical. Wears the same clothes.
Yeah,
Same dude.
He's awesome.
That's awesome.
He had the blue 69 911 that used to go on our rallies.
I remember that car. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Did he got a Cortina now, right?
patinaed. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so that's the one that stands out to me, like kind of the most.
We had a
you
bunch
guys?
of those. Yeah, we had a bunch of that same muscle car stuff that would go up to.
But
4
like,
lanes up the coast.
like that's one of the ones where he was an older kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was a guy exactly like Forrest.
An older child in my neighborhood.
An older child in your name.
Yeah, an older kid in your community.
Yeah.
Yeah, same deal.
College child.
This guy Chris had a '61 Bel Air bubble top, and it was, white with red
White
accents.
one. I remember that car.
Badass car.
So nice.
That's
So
And
sweet.
delicious.
it was just one of those cars that, I don't even know how he got it.
Yeah.
It was just there.
I'm
High
sure
school.
John Ritchie was like that guy for a lot of people.
Yeah, 57
'Cause-
Chevy with flames
Yeah.
in high
In
school.
really nice condition, black, like
Pretty-
brand new paint job.
Very cool car.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about you guys? Anything?
Yeah,
come to
I
mind?
don't remember the dude's name, but it was one of those older guys. It was like a friend's cousin's brother kind of, and he would
An
show
older
up.
child in your community.
And he had an older child in the community.
Yeah, community
He had a
child.
red E34 M5. And that
red.
was, it was, we would like literally ride by in our bikes, on our bicycles, like we were carless, and that was a badass car.
Because you were a younger child.
we were
You
younger
were
children.
younger children in your
yeah,
community.
and he was the older child.
The community member.
The
nonetheless.
But a
unlicensed.
community member for sure. He was part of the community somehow.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there was also a dude kind of close to where my mom lived that had a Henna E30 M3. And
Ooh.
that's when I first started driving. I actually did talk to him and like go check it out. And like as a young whippersnapper, like I'm like, oh yeah, if you ever want to sell it, let me know. Like,
Like you can afford it.
and the guy's dad was there, and he said, I went with him to the dealer to buy that car when it was new. Do you know how much that car was?
Damn.
And I'm like, he was like lecturing me on how expensive the car was. I'm like,
You're
I'm
like,
sorry.
all right,
man.
dude. Well,
Yeah.
fucking
I'll
sorry
do it.
for your
Like,
loss.
Whoa.
Sorry for your
Whoa.
loss. I was about to throw down $2,500
Yeah, you're like,
bucks.
sorry for
right
your
now.
loss. Because it's like,
$3,000 or what?
I was just talking to my friend Forrest Crowell, who we went to high school with. He had an E30 M3 in high school. He bought it like beginning of senior year, I think, or end of junior year.
Red
And
one,
I remember
right?
he financed it. It was red, and he bought it for like it was like $8,500 or something.
Yeah, wow.
He had just told. I think it was $8,900, and that was like you were like, I don't know, it's kind of risky, dude, buying that thing for $8,900.
And it was so much more expensive than just a regular 3 Series.
Oh yeah,
At the time.
yeah, they were like $4,000 or
Yeah.
$3,500
Yeah.
or something, $3,000 for a nice
Yeah.
one.
So it was a hard proposition.
And he was coming out of like a 320i.
Yep.
Dang. We had one in high school. I was a freshman and she was a junior or senior cheerleader. First gen CTS V.
Oh yeah,
And I was like, that's a lot of power. I mean,
dude, that's pretty baller.
for someone 17 or 18, but
Very Lodi of you. too.
very Lodi. But she drove stick shift great. Never,
Nice.
never heard the clutch slip or anything. And I was just like, okay, that's awesome. It sounded great. Cool looking car too, because this was like 07, 08. So it wasn't too old. It was probably 3 or 4 years old. That car was awesome.
That's cool.
That's
That
rad.
actually reminds me of there was a girl at Isla Vista in Santa Barbara, and she was from Texas. She drove an R129 SL600, It was the most like
Dang.
crazy
Whoa.
baller rich girl move ever. And
Yeah,
Isla
because
Vista,
this is like
it was
02 or something?
2001.
Yeah.
And so it was a very like new car. You
Yeah.
know, it
It's
was-
like a $70,000 car,
Right.
then, probably.
and it was fully optioned because my buddy Tom, who I was hanging out with all the time, is like a Mercedes freak, and so he was always like on it with those kind of things. And
Yeah.
when we saw that, we found out who
Yeah.
owned it. And I mean, at the time, it was an expensive car, but for those not familiar with Isla Vista, it's like the most densely populated place west of the Mississippi. And she lived on Del Playa, which is on the beach, which was like even more densely populated. There was just cars on top of cars, triple parked, doors.
And it's mayhem every
It's
night.
mayhem.
People partying,
Halloween
puking,
there?
throwing
Oh.
stuff, parties in the street.
Walking on
and
the cars.
She came from Texas to go to IV in an SL 600. I just thought that was like
Sure. Well, there
crazy.
was stuff like that when I was in college down there too, but it was mostly like foreign exchange students. Like there was this
Yeah.
Korean kid who had an E55, and that was just his car. And it's just-
There's still stuff like that
Yeah.
in Santa Cruz. Like there's this
Yeah.
house with a McLaren and an NSX, a new one.
Wow.
And then downtown there's an orange NSX. Like I don't
Right.
remember those. They made that.
Oh, that special edition one.
Yeah,
they
it's
did?
just some kid that goes to UCSC.
We had one of those in college. My buddy Kelvin, who's been on a rally with me before, he had a Z4 M Coupe, gray over red with no iDrive on gray BBS E88s or something, Euro headers and everything, and street parked it under a cover. And it was just like,
oh, in college?
yeah. And I joined the car club at Cal Poly, and I was like, who's got the Z4 M Coupe? Because this was 2012, and those were still kind of rare.
Oh, Fuchs 911 says, "Are we going to see Lane at Luft?"
I'll be at the first day of Lyft. I have to leave the next day to go to do a work thing in
Well, that's
LA.
not the second day isn't Lyft, is it?
Oh yeah, it's
Air
air,
plus
water,
water.
or something.
So it will be at Lyft.
Yeah, I'll be at Lyft. Sorry,
Air water.
Air water.
it's
Fire
like a whole
water.
weekend though, right?
Watery
but yeah, I'll be
air?
at Lyft.
Watery air.
Water and ice. Or
Are
ice
you guys
and-
going?
Water ice.
No, they're gonna be
We'll be
in
in Austin, Texas.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Come out to Coda, Austin, Texas, Radwood. Same weekend, same day as Luft. Okay, so are you signing autographs or anything?
I'll sign them if you want me to.
Dash.
I'll sign the gas door.
Oh, nice.
Exterior.
Inside.
Exterior.
Exterior.
Oh, exterior.
I had a
Draw a
rumor-
picture of like Bart Simpson.
Silver Sharpie.
Eat your shorts or eat my
I'll,
shorts.
I'll come up with a quote, like some quote I can write before then.
Dirt don't hurt or whatever.
Like something, sense of occasion,
yep.
or like-
Do you know how to spell
I think
that?
Lane hate.
cool as ice.
Or what about like
Lane hate, then sign
if I
Lane?
die
Yeah.
if I die in a car crash, it's okay because I was smiling or
Yeah,
something like that?
exactly.
Laughing.
God doesn't cry if he laughs or something.
What?
I don't know.
I heard a rumor that Jeff Gordon at the Amelia was signing autographs. No matter who came up to him or what they were signing,
Oh, he would go.
it was $25.
Just to deter people.
Did you take Venmo?
I don't know.
I hope it was
Jeff
to
Gordon
charity.
is so wealthy. Okay.
I know. I don't
I'm sure
know.
it was probably to
Don't know
his
what's-
charity or something, just
Yeah.
for the sake of doing it.
Don't know. Bobby Reed with the Cars says, if your next car had to be built in a country from which you've never owned a car, what would your next car be?
Man.
So
Huh.
think of the countries you've not owned a car from.
Wow.
So
I thought.
Korea.
Oh, yeah.
nice.
Oh, no. I've owned a Korean car.
You're out.
I've owned a Chinese car. I've owned an Italian car.
Yep.
I've owned an American car. I've owned Japanese cars. I've owned
Yeah,
German
let's talk
cars.
about the ones you haven't owned.
I don't know.
How about a Dutch?
I've owned French.
Where's Koenigsegg? Is that Swedish or Dutch?
Swedish.
French?
Koenigsegg Swedish.
What
Swedish?
French?
Renault.
Oh, damn it.
You
you're
haven't
right.
had a Swedish.
I've had
car.
Swedish cars.
Yep.
You have?
Volvo.
Volvo.
Oh shit, that's right.
I don't know what I haven't had. Oh, British.
Yeah, you've never owned a Brit.
There you go.
Yeah, I've never
Come
had
to
a
the
Jaguar.
dark side.
No Land Rover?
I've never had a Jaguar.
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 How about you guys?
Getting a TVR then, right? Your favorite? It's like
Yeah.
perfectly built.
Korean.
I mean, dude, I'll take an E-Type.
Flat
just-
floor.
I just saw the
Putting your
news.
knees in your
Outside
face.
bonnet latches.
I'd take a Genesis of some kind.
I'll take a TR6 or something.
Yeah, I've never owned a
Triumph
British car either.
TR4. Whatever.
Well, I'm glad
Well-
I've never known an Italian car because I'm going to go straight there.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say.
I kind of own the Mini, but I don't really consider that British. Is that
Those are
Oh,
German.
because it's
German.
so German.
so
They were
German?
they're made in Germany and they're BMWs underneath.
Yeah, but it's a British
It's a
company.
British car.
British.
It's British.
Well, I guess are you going by like what country of origin on the Monroney label or country of origin of the company?
I think
Well, the
company. I think
company.
the
I mean,
company's
shit,
like
BMW 's
ethos of the
in
company.
South Carolina or whatever. So
yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was like, my GTI was made in Mexico, so then I could claim
No,
German. But
that's
No,
a
you gotta
German
go with
car.
like the basic.
I'm with Italy with Art then.
Oh yeah, so is the Polestar not a Chinese company actually?
It's Swedish,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. That's slippery slope.
yeah.
Yeah, Italy for me too. Then
Yeah, there's a few there. I mean, there's
You
like
never had a Brit either, though.
oh, what? Brit? No, I haven't.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, I have a lot of
Pip
options.
Pip Chevy, yeah.
Yeah, right. A little bowler hat.
I mean, you can get like a mini Morris Minor or something like that. You know, like
Possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, a little mini.
Something from Austin,
Oh no, you have had a
Austin Metro.
The mini wasn't even.
There's a few. I mean, this is like no budget, just like, or this literally your next
I think
car.
it's just like, what country would you like it to come from?
Well, I would definitely be Italian. I mean, but there's so many options. Like, I mean, and here's where things get really weird because we're talking about country of origin versus what it is. But like, I would love me an Alphaholics GTB, right? But like, is that Italian or is
Oh,
that
it's
British?
British.
But the title says Alfa Romeo.
It's an
it's-
Alfa Romeo.
it's
It's an
Italian.
Italian.
yeah,
car.
that's Italian.
It's just a resto mod Italian.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
but
do
that's
those
like
cost?
that's dream
A lot,
scenario, like
300?
$500,000.
Because that's like
Yeah.
saying, oh, is
Wow.
a Singer 911 really German?
No, they build it in
Versus
LA.
American.
It's
I know,
USA
yeah,
now.
yeah. But if realistically, F355 is still a car that I definitely want.
Ooh.
I want a manual GTB, so that's easy. But also like going crazy budgets. Do you guys follow OK Tech Alpha on Instagram?
I have literally no idea.
He like singerizes GTV6s. They're amazing, and they're like wide body, like perfect stance, like basically completely redone underneath, and beautiful,
Sounds cool.
like
That sounds cool.
insane engines. Yeah, gorgeous
cars.
engines, ITBs, and all that. Really, really cool cars. Those would be. I would love to have one of those.
Is he British?
No, I think he's an Italian. He's an Italian. I was
That's
going to say.
cool.
Yeah.
I love an
Yeah.
Italian.
He might be in
person.
Switzerland. Let me double. I don't know.
An
He's from Italy.
Italy person.
He's
if I
either
was gonna buy
Italy or
Italian,
Switzerland.
I've always wanted a 599 GTB.
There you go.
I don't want to pay for the maintenance on it, but I don't know. It's got like an Enzo motor, kind of
I mean, yeah, big V12 GT.
flappy paddles.
Yeah, very flappy. I saw one at the hangar party at the Amelia that was converted to manual.
What do you? Oh yeah, Tyler Hoover's. I think.
Maybe. Was it?
I think that he had
Oh, that
converted
makes
one
sense.
to manual.
Like that's a
Oh,
Milano.
wow. Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
this type of stuff. Like
Yeah,
it's just
full-
Yeah, he goes all out. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
no,
awesome.
no ground clearance.
well, that's a race car,
Race
but
car
like,
style.
but look at the wheels, man. Look at that.
I love those wheels. That would be great for a
I'll have to
SL.
send this to Paolo
that's awesome.
to Joao Paulo. I'm stealing fucking
Any name
Camisa's
will do.
guy. No.
Any name will do.
I used to work with Paolo. Paolo's awesome.
Paolo's cool. Yeah. I've met him a few times. He lives pretty close to me.
So I have all the options. I could do a French car. I've always wanted a Citroën.
Which one?
I like the DS convertible.
Ooh.
Be amazing.
Ooh, decapotable.
Yeah, but a little pricey, a little out of my range. Or a Renault V6 Clio.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a
be
good call.
very, very
I'm
cool.
very down with that.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on budget and all that. But
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
realistically, if I were in the market, I would look at the Korean companies' options.
Yeah.
I just saw the new Sonata
Ooh, that looks good.
N. Dude, it looks so cool.
Real
really
good.
cool.
That the
That
front and
bar,
everything.
it looks the styling.
Wait,
Is,
did it just come out or something?
Yeah.
they've
2
just
days
shown
ago, I
pictures
think?
on the old interwebs.
And
Yeah.
this is interesting because I remember I looked at that car and I remember like a few years ago mentioning on the podcast, like with LED light technology, like headlights are going to change dramatically.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what happens, right? Because lights were already starting to get squinty.
I know.
But this is such a good
Well, the-
execution
Well, that's
of
why
that.
everybody complained about the F-Type when they went to the facelift version because they liked the vertical headlights. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they went to the
Oh,
They went to
the
those little-
facelifted ones, and it was just like, it's a different character.
Well, I look at some of those other supercars, like even Koenigsegg, and they have like those pod headlights in a big housing. You know,
Yeah.
and it looks so old fashioned. And you would think that they would come up with something more sleek and kind of futuristic looking.
That's one of the only things that like the singers in those resto mods kind of lose me on because
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at
They don't
these
have
headlights
fluting
right
glass.
here, it's got this
Yeah.
such character to it.
But I think you could option it that way.
There's,
you can?
I heard
I
about that.
mean,
No, they didn't.
I imagine-
I thought
oh,
we
for
just heard
for
about that.
write a
Singer,
check,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, or maybe we had this conversation at the Quail because this sounds familiar. I
Yeah.
thought it
The
was
new,
either
it
possible.
was that new turbo.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But have you guys seen the new Prius in person?
I have.
Yes,
It's
I
bigger
have.
than I expected, but it still looks cool.
I think people are going crazy for nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's
I think
by
it just
far
looks
the
like
best looking one they've
sure,
ever
but that's
made.
like saying look at it.
but it's
I
like,
think
but
it's- I think
stands
it's
on
like
its own as a
percent of
good looking-
I think it's
improvement.
better than like almost anything in its class. Like I can't think of one,
What's in its cost?
any other hybrid, I'm trying to think of
Civic? Do they make a Civic hybrid still? Or
I
No,
don't know.
what's in its cost? I don't know. It
me
looks like
think.
a last. It looks like the last
Kona?
Dodge Dart, but a little. It looks like a newer version of that.
same class as a Kona,
think you're
maybe?
high.
It looks exactly like it.
Exactly like
It looks like it would be the new Dodge Dart.
I think it's.
Dodge Dart
I just
Way
think
more
percentage
rounded.
improvement, generation over generation. It's
And
like
I don't
a
like
30%
that it
improvement as
has
opposed to a
no
10%.
Yeah, I
definition
agree with
between
you
the hood
because-
and windshield.
It's kind of
It's
cool
getting
though.
sleek,
I kind of
sleek,
like
right?
it.
I think we
Yeah.
should crowdfund getting Lane a Prius.
I think people are going crazy over nothing.
I mean, I actually like it.
I like,
like
no,
it.
I like it too. Yeah, I like it too.
I couldn't. I couldn't believe when
I-
I saw it. I was like, "Wow, that's a very nice
Come
car."
talk to
Yeah.
me in 8 months. when
I'm
they're
just curious to
everywhere.
know
not
what is.
talking to
Yeah,
you.
but speaking of competition though, yeah, like I mean, is it? You have to get into a hybrid sedan, right? So what, I don't even know. Like
Yeah,
they
or-
stopped making the Fusion, right? So I don't even know what the
Yeah.
alternatives are.
That's
But-
why I go to like Kona and I thinking of Korean brands and what like Hyundai Elantra hybrid I think they offer.
Yeah.
But-
What's that other one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyways,
Yeah.
way better than the
Still
old one.
CVT probably though. That's
I know.
annoying. That's
I
like the
know.
one thing that really sucks.
Camisa seemed to like
There's
it.
the old Dodge Dart.
Yeah, you don't look
Dude,
anything
It
alike.
looks so much like it, dude.
I don't
I
see
think
it.
it's
does.
3 against 1.
I don't see it.
It looks so the side windows like it looks so much like it,
It
dude.
has some similarities.
It
but
looks like a newer version of this. Like if this
I think
if this
you're-
kept going, it would be the new Dodge
I
Dart.
disagree.
I feel like
well,
it's
that's
fuel
sure.
economy.
I mean, well, that would be a really good looking Dodge Dart. then.
Exactly. Yeah.
it'd probably run better. It'd be more
should.
reliable.
They should make that. Yeah, I just can't believe they've made such a good improvement over the last. Seemed to be getting worse and worse and
It
worse.
was really
Yeah.
bad. It went to
Yeah.
like it went in the most extreme worst case scenario,
Yes, like
with the Mirai and shit. Like it went
Yeah,
like
and
fucking
then all of a
spaceship.
sudden-
And then the
Somehow
Mirai
they-
became an LS and you're
Yeah,
like,
and I was like,
oh man, that looks
yeah.
really good.
I saw one recently
Yeah.
actually, and it did the thing where like it was merging and it was like spewing water.
Mirai
Yeah.
should be illegal, dude. They just
I've seen
spit. It's like someone with their windshield wipers on the whole time in
like
front of you.
Yeah.
puddle. Yeah,
It's horrible.
up Highway 17, like under load, they were just dumping water.
Yeah.
and
That's why I said like years ago. I remember I commented on that. I'm like, dude, like, can you imagine if all cars were that like
know.
that? Like all of the roads would be constantly
They'd
damp.
just be wet. Yeah. It'd be
Everything would look
crashing.
like a car commercial from the late 90s where it's all damp all the
you
time.
need some aqua tread.
Ooh, that reminds
I
me,
can
dude.
only imagine what people who don't have any clue about what that car is think is happening.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like your car's leaking gas.
Or
Yeah.
they just think it's like just started. You know, you see cars.
yeah,
like,
right.
Well, I saw one on the way to Morning Motors the other morning at 7:15 or whatever it was in San Jose, and I pointed out to the person who was with me. I was just like, "See all the stuff coming out of there? You could technically put that in a glass and drink it. That's what they claim in the
Right.
press release.
Sure.
It's purified water.
Yeah.
I think Leno did that when GM or somebody launched a hydrogen car and drank the glass on stage and was just like, ugh. Not great.
And then he died.
Nice.
no, yeah,
no, he
I-
just caught
I-
on fire that one time.
His
do-
face caught on fire from it.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. It's like it's just condensation, really, right? It's like all.
Hydrogen, I think, is a good way of the future, though. I mean, as long as it doesn't blow up.
Make a network for it.
Yeah, like good luck fueling that. Thing.
Speaking of infrastructure,
yeah,
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, it's they're
nightmare.
so complicated. Like the current system, right? Like the chambers, and it's got to be
yeah,
all
the floats
because the
and
molecules
stuff,
are so small. Because the tanks have
and
to
you
be.
can't fill them up. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like
I
Zach-
like it conceptually. I just give me the fucking e-fuels. Like I'm fine with that. Yeah, so we can keep running our internal
I know,
combustion
it's,
engines.
it's soon, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly
Well, Porsche's
they-
going
Porsche
deeper.
Porsche
just-
spent $100 billion
Yeah.
in Chile
No,
on that.
there
Didn't
was
they?
just an announcement today
100 million?
about it being approved for use somewhere. I don't know. I didn't read the article. Some
Yeah, I
headline
think it
today.
was. They were going to ban all fuel, like all cars, non-electric cars were going to be banned, and then they said actually e-fuels are going to be allowed.
Well, I think if you're going to keep a car that's been built for 5, 10, 20 years on the road with e-fuels, it's more environmentally friendly to do
is.
that than build, ship, and assemble a new car and then acquire that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just stoked to be able to continue using our current, like our old cars, right? Like I think like that's an opportunity to be able to do that, and like if it's an option, right? Where if the other stuff starts to get banned and outlawed. But yeah, I mean it's cool to see. I mean supposedly like Formula One's going that route too, so that helps
Yeah.
a lot too, right? Like with that research and technology, they can start trickling that down.
Trickle it.
Yep.
Thomas Park says for Ben,
Oh boy.
Have you driven a Jaguar XF Sport Brake? Impressions? I love a station wagon, and that one is a beauty. Just wondering what the driving experience is like. If it's engaging, if it feels nimble and quick, or if it feels more SUV-like. I hope not.
I haven't specifically driven the XF Sport Brake, but everyone I know who's driven it and has owned one loves them.
So this might be a good opportunity to tell people what you do for a living.
So I work in regional management for a British car company, Jaguar Land Rover, and it's honestly a dream come true. I've been dreaming of driving these vehicles, specifically Range Rover and the Jag Coupes and everything, since I was 8 years old. My parents took me to FAO Schwartz in San Francisco when that was a thing and said I could pick any model car I wanted, and I went past all the Porsches and Ferraris and picked a British Racing Green P38 Range Rover. And so it's
P38
What a sad childhood.
And you're the assistant to the regional manager?
I'm the assistant to the regional manager. No, it's an amazing company, and I love the
Administrative
product. I
assistant,
love the
they call it.
brand, and I feel like it's a lot better to work for a company where you feel passionately about the product and everything. So it's awesome.
This also isn't a job interview, so if you want to just speak candidly, like you can say whatever you want right now.
No, it's awesome.
You
I
can
love
fucking
it.
curse. You can say whatever the hell you
Fucking
want.
curse.
Fucking curse.
I'm just trying to
Bloody hell, dude.
Bloody hell.
But yeah, but no, that's great, man. I mean, it's awesome to hear you're stoked on your job.
I mean, it sounds
yeah.
like you've been doing it for how long now with Jaguar?
JLR, I've been there for a little over 2 years, but before that, I was with Genesis, and before that, I did automotive PR, and before that, I was with Lexus. So I've kind of gotten to experience. It was funny. I took German in high school, thinking I was going to work for a German OEM, and now I've worked for the Japanese, the Korean, and now the British, and it's just like,
German.
Best laid plans. But no, XF Sport Brake's it's a great car. I see them pop up every now and then, certified pre-owned, which has an unlimited mile warranty on it for a certain amount of years. But
It's the only way to own it, right?
yeah, having driven XF and everything,
all of
it's
those.
plenty quick with the 6-cylinder in it, and it's nimble, but at the end of the day, it's a 4,200-pound car. So
more-
is it gonna feel?
cruiser, right?
Yeah,
Is that what Jay
Our
had?
friend had one.
Jay Lamb.
Does he still have it?
He leased it. He returned
Oh, he
it.
leased it.
Yeah.
Dang, I
I
was
think
gonna
he
ask
got a
him
really
if he
good
had it.
deal.
Yeah, it was really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't anticipate it being like.
I think it was like fine. He just, whatever. It was just a car to drive around for him.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of
Big
the
old
intended
GT.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we saw them at the San Francisco Auto Show when they first came out, remember? And they had really cool paint. That was the one thing
Yeah.
that stood out. Like there was a black that had it was like a carbon black, but it had such
Tons
heavy
of
like
purple
metallic
and
and,
green or
purple and stuff.
something,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the SV spectrum of colors, which extra charge obviously, but
Oh.
really crazy hand done. In the Europe though, the bummers we didn't get them here. They
Europe?
did in the Europe. They did
What?
XF Sport Brakes with supercharged V8, so it was like an XF GT Sport Brake. So it had that 500 plus horsepower supercharged V8 in the wagon, which would be
Oh,
That'd be
I think it'd be
rad.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like a it's a unique kind of choice, right?
I think
like
that's the
within-
main
that's
thing
the
about
right?
it, right?
It's
Yeah.
different.
Because
ZF8
stands out.
speed.
I can't say I would choose it over its competitors ever, but if you're open to that like Aston Martin idea, that's it's not going to be as good as the 911 or the competitors.
E63 or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't even put it up against E63. I put it more in line with the E class, the U drive,
E500 or
non
something.
E350 or
yeah,
something.
E350 versus that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of an esoteric choice.
It's a quirky choice.
yeah.
Yeah. But they are super cool when you see them.
Yeah, they look great.
so
They're very,
rare.
very rare. Yeah.
They're so
Yeah.
rare.
I
Yeah,
think
they
I've
were. They
only
didn't
seen
sell
Jay's.
'em at all,
I've
yeah.
only seen Jay's. I've
Yeah.
never seen another one.
Yep.
Yeah. I recommend a certified pre-owned search.
Do you remember the X-Type wagon?
One of my
Ooh,
coworkers just purchased an X-type wagon to carry around his dogs and everything. He lives up in like Lake Arrowhead, and so he found a BRG over tan, and those had the 3-liter V6 only as opposed to the 4-cylinder. So
Just
And they came with the
Ford, right?
you can get them with the manual too, right?
Not here.
I'm pretty sure I've seen them with a
really?
manual. Yeah, I don't know if it's a front wheel drive versus all wheel drive thing, but I've definitely seen them.
I
Front-wheel drive?
don't. That was a little bit before my time by 2
Yeah,
decades.
I'm like positive, unless it was
yeah.
the C60.
So is that based on a Ford Mondeo or
I
something?
think so.
I remember it was something Ford. Yeah,
I
but-
think it was the Ford Yields. I think it was a Mondeo.
Yeah. And that thing got kind of panned, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
What was so horrible about it though?
I think it was expensive.
Ford's build
heavy.
quality probably.
Was
Yeah.
it just not quite there, like
Yeah.
compared to BMW
All
or
the
something?
I mean, if you're shopping that versus an E46 328 wagon,
Yeah.
it's
Pretty tough,
gonna be
pretty
a
tough.
little different.
It's kind of like the Cadillac Catera.
They did kind of make the news
Totally.
though in a weird, quirky British Jag way when they did the Queen's funeral, because her green on tan one was parked in the background of the opening shot of the funeral. So it was kind of like, but I think they sold it at auction for charity.
So here you go. X-Type Sport Wagon, no cost option, manual transmission.
Here in the
Dang.
States. Damn.
And
Wait.
this was
Oh,
this was
yeah.
2005. This is an article in 2005 in Car and Driver.
That's so,
Okay,
that's
I will.
so
I will reach
unicorny.
out. I'll reach out to our historical department and see what the take rate was.
Dude,
Oh,
I swear
yeah.
I saw one like relatively recently on Craigslist, and it was a manual.
That's
But
wild.
Huh.
All right.
That's one of those things you're like, probably won't be much more fun. Or,
No, definitely not.
like it's not like
Totally agree. Like,
Yeah.
I wanna
shittier
drive it.
experience.
yeah.
let's drive the Mondeo. Weren't those raced, man? It's basically like a BTCC car, you know.
Okay, if you did the Tom Walkinshaw treatment to the wagon and
There you
made it
go.
a BTCC X-type
be
wagon,
rad.
I'm in.
Flare the
cool.
fenders.
Yep.
John Rye has a great question here. How important is having a rad era car with support? If you buy an Isuzu, you have to be Joe Isuzu with 3 other Isuzus in the yard. If you buy an E36, G-Body 911, or an R33 Skyline, you have some level of community, parts availability, not headlights, aftermarket support.
They shipped.
Is it best to stick to known quantities or just throw caution to the wind and get that Mazda 323 GTX?
Well, it depends. How many cars deep is it, right? If it's like your primary vehicle, no. If it's your secondary
But
vehicle,
still,
maybe.
even then, it's like
And then-
he has a point. You have to be Joe Isuzu guy with
Yeah.
a parts car and like.
I mean,
on
you know, with the
forums.
Mitsubishi,
It was
Mighty
horrible.
Max.
That was
And
the
then
worst.
I've
That was the
even
worst.
Yeah, didn't you import parts from Thailand or
Yeah.
Vietnam or
There's
something?
no support.
And I've even seen that with my our Alpha Spider,
Yeah,
which
Really?
is like
Even
a
for
car they
those?
made for 40 years or
And sold
whatever.
everywhere.
and
Really?
sold everywhere. It's like compared to getting parts for a 911 or
Yeah.
a
Oh, yeah.
944
Toyota.
or a BMW, even a BMW like E30 or something or
Yeah.
whatever. It is like really hard. And then to find out how to like, the Porsche stuff's so easy because you can just type in like, how do I do this? And there's a million forums and stuff like
Yeah.
of
Everything's
people
been done on
doing
Randlist.
everything. And there's a million parts sources and all these aftermarket suppliers making every part and, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Porsche supporting the cars. Like,
yeah. Same
they're
thing
literally making like blocks, magnesium blocks still.
with BMW E30s. There's
Yeah.
tons of
Yeah.
DIY.
But, this-
Mercedes, everything.
The
Yeah.
Vanagons, tons of support.
the Alpha, it's like I got these little straps for the top, like this little that house the little thing. But anyways, they're like pieces of shit, dude. Like they're just not OEM. They're not.
Literal
They're
poop.
it's like it's worthless stuff, and then everything else like it's hard. You have to go to like 10 different sites to get the stuff you want because
Right.
everything's not in one place. And then the stuff you do find is garbage, and then a lot of stuff just is no longer available. Or
I think so you're in a weird position because Alpha is sold here again, but they was discontinued for so long that it
Yeah.
all dried up. But like Mitsubishi, there's nothing.
so. I bought a lot of stuff from
No support.
Alcoholics
Right.
Really?
in England.
Because they're remaking some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get, like Volkswagen has the Samba, which is a great resource of people reselling, right? And then eBay, you can find some stuff here and there. But yeah, like getting into, I'm thinking like there was an article on a Daihatsu Charade. And my first thought was like, well, how do you work on it? Like, it's an economy car to start with. It's a car that wasn't sold here
Wasn't
very
it
long.
based on something though, like a
Suzuki
GM
Swift?
or
Was
yeah,
it like
Swift
the
or something?
I don't
same
think
basic?
so.
Is it easier to find parts for Suzuki
Daihatsu.
Swift?
Oh,
Yeah.
Daihatsu?
That's
Yeah.
Toyota. Yeah, that would be a competitor.
Anyways, totally, obscure, obsolete car that wasn't loved to start with. It's one thing if it's a Ferrari that's obscure and people loved him.
Yeah.
So it's keeping them alive a little bit. But Mighty Max stuff, it's just no one gave a shit about them when they were new. And they definitely didn't keep them around and like have parts on the shelf now. So there was in Thailand, I think they were just built longer. They sold
My
them-
my dad actually growing up was a Mighty Max guy.
what?
When I was growing up, he daily drove. He had the Dodge version, so the Ram 50.
Oh, that's
but,
a different crowd.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
think it's
don't
the same
really-
thing as the Mighty Max, isn't it?
You know what? We don't really.
They hang out at different
I mean, in
bars.
Fresno, you had to get a Dodge. It was just kind of you couldn't get a.
Dude, but I mean, I think I still stick to my angle on it. I feel like because if it's that third Radwood era car that's over there that you spend that one Saturday on eBay and talking to
Yeah.
places and trying to
Yeah.
find parts for it, and then it becomes like
I
you
know,
stack
but-
up the parts and occasionally work on it versus like it being like your secondary or
Yeah.
primary vehicle. Like
It
that
still
sucks.
it still takes a lot of like
It really does.
It's a lot of work.
Part of what
dude.
stopped me
You
from
gotta be
buying
the
a
guy. You gotta
Jaguar
be a
car.
guy, right?
You got to, you have to.
Community.
I'm really surprised to hear this. I mean, this Alpha Spider thing sounds like an opportunity almost because they made so many of those, right? Like
Yeah.
they need like a Moss Motors, right?
Exactly.
Where they have like
That's
that
when
kind
you
of thing.
get one guy like that, like a Moss Motors that just has a catalog.
Yeah.
Or a 4x4 catalog for Jeep.
And there
There's
is some
Or
catalogs.
that van in Slow or whatever it was. There's
Go
that.
Westy.
Go Westy, yeah.
they're
and
or
I,
whatever
I,
it is,
I
yeah.
think this is like a couple. This is like probably not even close to the worst because you can actually get stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
said, you have to go all these like sites and there is sites available, but a lot of these sites were designed in 1998.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And it's
Cities.
just like the amount of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
digging you have to do to find stuff is crazy. And then to figure out how things are, you don't know how anything's like put together or anything. And then
Totally.
you have to
Yeah.
buy one part and then you're like, oh, but where do I get the clips to put that in? And you're like, oh, they don't have them. So you're
Yeah.
supposed to reuse your clip, but you have to go to a different site to get the clips. And
No, I know. Yeah, it's difficult with cars that are like, what was another one I saw? Oh, Daihatsu Rocky.
Oh yeah.
Or a Suzuki Samurai or these utilitarian cars.
I mean, the
that were
good thing
never-
is Samurais are like still built basically, or were built until.
But versus,
5 years
a
ago or
Wrangler
something.
of the era. What's
Right.
the aftermarket support
or a
like on a
Toyota
Wrangler?
pickup Hilux,
Oh,
which
yeah.
are like all over the world.
But you
offered-
get weird pockets though, like that. So that reminds me, like you can go to Colombia and maybe those are super popular. The
That's
Daihatsu
true.
Rockies, right?
But
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
to,
So
then,
but you need to import
find
from
that
there.
guy.
Yeah.
But I think this is we're getting to the one of the biggest reasons that these are worth more. Like that Toyotas
Yes.
are worth more money, like
Yes.
just straight up in the
Yeah.
used market, because they are that much easier to find parts for. They're like
Yep.
everything's attainable. Like and
Yeah,
then
yeah, the aftermarket
you go
support's
with the
really
even Nissan a hard body. I bet it's hard to find parts now.
It is. It's
Yeah.
getting harder and harder. I think those utilitarian vehicles, like why trucks are so hot, and a lot of reason is that they were never cherished. They were just used hard, like
Yeah.
basically just a tool.
Which ones? Oh, the
Any Toyotas,
any truck.
4Runner,
well,
any
in period they were also
Silverados.
modified, but I mean,
But yeah, like I'm just saying that's why their values have gone up a lot because finding nice ones is rare.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not like someone with a
rust.
E30 M3.
yeah, or even like I'm thinking like a Bentley Turbo R. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, they were always a special car, so they're kind of cherished. They're not worth that much anymore.
They're
but-
also trucks are meant to be trucks, right?
Totally.
So they were meant like
Yeah.
to do work.
and now the valuable ones have like no wear in the bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
the seats are perfect. Like, well, was this ever even a truck?
Yeah, yeah.
You almost kind of get to a chicken or the egg thing though, where it's like back in the day, was the E30 so much better than everything around it that's why it stayed popular and built a community around it, or was it just because it
know.
was?
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was always kind of a status symbol car, and now people can actually.
They were
afford
expensive
it.
as hell when they were new.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but they weren't. I don't know if they were huge leaps and bounds better as a car at the time.
No,
right?
but what was their competition? They were against like Volvo 240s and
Fox
stuff like
bodies.
that. Like,
Fox
but really, like that's not a direct comparison. A Fox body is like
Audi.
a shitty cheap car.
But I mean, in terms of,
Audi-
I'm just saying, like in general, it was a very nice car. Like it was
Yeah, yeah.
much better built.
No,
and, like,
yeah,
and,
for sure.
all of that.
But
but
what was
they're-
an AE86 versus an E30 325i price?
Right.
Oh, I mean,
the
double?
86 is like a,
yeah,
the
which is
fucking
what
tin
it should
can
be.
versus-
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
An A86 is a little trash bucket.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired!
It's a fun trash bucket.
I mean, they are though.
They're,
It's
yeah, they're
like-
tin cans for sure.
Yeah, and the build
Yep.
like everything is shittier. Like
Yeah, I've never driven one.
Yeah, I
it
don't know
doesn't
if they're-
matter like driving.
Yeah.
It's just like how they're built.
I
Yeah.
think it's just they're not
It's a
poorly made.
bucket.
It's just cheaper materials.
I mean, it's the
around.
same as now, like a Corolla versus a fucking 3 Series or whatever.
bucket.
trash.
This is
bucket.
why he hates the Prius.
Well, we're not gonna. We haven't.
You're like, don't start that again.
yeah.
The Prius, I just see like everyone sees it as a.
Lane just hates.
They all have these eyes, these good. They're like, oh my god,
Lane
a Prius
hates hype.
doesn't look.
That's the thing. So this is like it's
Kinda
overhyped.
I'm looking
It's
past the hype.
way over.
Yeah.
I'm looking past the hype. Just
Yeah.
appreciating it for not being a horrible transformer car. It's actually like decent looking. So I think John Rye's point is, should he throw caution to the wind and get that Mazda 323?
I mean, I think
GTX?
those are cool, but you'd really have to think about that.
Yeah, and those are also complicated to work on. They have really
All-wheel
weird
drive.
like inboard brakes.
And who
like,
are you going to have work on it?
Yeah,
They have inboard brakes?
Yeah, they've got funky stuff going on.
That,
Yeah,
so they're like an Alfa Romeo. That's another thing too. You have to buy a car and be like, okay, so when something does go wrong, if I can't work on it,
You have
Who
to have a
is going to
guy
work on it?
or a
Like
gal.
Citroen SM, they're so cool.
Yeah.
They're such awesome cars, but there's literally one dude in LA that's almost gone
Yeah.
that knows them, and that's it.
Yep.
And other than that, you have to be a Citroen guy and either know somebody that can work on it or be willing to really take the leap. So
Just seems like a pain.
it does. It is. Piston Drift says, what are each of your top 3 rally moments?
Whoa.
Whoa.
I hate to say this, but most of them involve like fucked up shit happening.
Really?
Oh, jeez.
For example, being chased by dogs.
Oh,
That
yeah.
might
yeah.
have-
Those are most.
That might have catapulted it in the
That's
top
pretty
3. It was
cool,
a pretty
yeah.
funny thing that I'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
never forget.
Yeah, I
There are some like great driving moments too, where you get out of the car and you like have a little kumbaya moment with your people and your crew.
I've had a
Yeah.
few of those for
But
sure.
for the most
Yeah.
part, it's like weird breakdowns or on the side of the road, funny things happening. That was one of them though.
funny
Like
things like a clown walking around like halfway in the middle of the desert.
that was
Yeah.
hilarious too. The clown guy. Yeah.
Okay, just making animal balloons.
Yeah, that was
inside of the
great.
road.
Jeez.
Or balloon animals. Yeah, I'm thinking of like really, really awesome like drives where I was with a good group of people and it was just a free road up ahead. Like there was a Lake Hughes road section that I did with, I was leading Ruben, Marcelo, and a couple other dudes in my M Coupe, and that was awesome. Like we just got epic driving almost the entire way, and then Highway 58, I've had some really, really epic drives on
Yep,
with no
same.
one around.
I had a
Yeah.
great run in from the coast, Northern California coast, into whatever that town is for lunch.
Yeah.
I really, the first time I did 58
Stand up.
229 in the Shelby, it was, I mean, it had just been repaved. That road was literally perfect. And it's a road I grew up driving during college. And now I got to go back and, this way faster car than I had then.
Yeah.
And it was a great group of people. And I think it was during the Super Bloom maybe. And so like the end destination was just something I had never seen before. But the parking lot hangs always end up being one of my favorite moments because, whether it's talking about what happened that day or, John Jesse doing spark plugs at 7 a.m. in his car or something. It's
Or
just,
disassembling an engine in the parking lot or something.
yeah, that. It's just the parking lot hangs. I look forward to those every
Yeah.
single time.
Those are always
yeah.
good for sure. I mean, consistently. I mean, I can't think of like one standout one, but yeah, those are always good.
Yeah, and then there's those moments where you're on the side of the road, someone's broke down. It sucks because that's happening, but that ends
It's
up
also
being
like
a memorable
not
moment.
that big of a deal
right?
because you're just waiting for tow trucks. So then it's a parking lot hang all
Yeah.
of a sudden. And
Yeah.
then you're in a
Somebody
cool,
stops
like,
by with
random
beers or
place.
something.
Yeah, someone stops by with the areas. Yeah, exactly.
Could be worse. Yeah.
There was that. There was the North Rally again where it was all smoky, and walking to dinner that night, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was cool. Ruben's car jacked up
Yeah.
Oh, up there.
GT3
Yeah, that was
at
wild.
the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone's car jacked up in the parking lot that night, I think,
And
Yep.
got jacked also.
and got jacked. Yeah,
People's shit gets stolen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, dude, there's some good stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking also like 993, certain roads, like Carmel Valley area, like
Such
having some
as?
amazing runs. That was a really, really fun one. And I think I've mentioned this before. It was like, I mean, just open road ahead, super, super fun section. And it was bright green, like everything was just super lush. And I'm like coming down the valley and up ahead, way far up ahead, like moving is the Alpina 2002. I forgot the guy's name, like maybe like 2 miles up. And my goal is to catch him. And I had a couple guys behind me and we catch up to 69 Stingray, the green one.
Andrew,
It's Jennifer and
Michelle, and Andrew.
Michelle and Andrew. No, not Michelle and Andrew.
The
Sloan.
other crew. Yes.
Yeah. And
Jennifer
so,
Sloan.
and then I catch
And
up
Eric.
to them. Yeah, and we have a good thing going. And I mentioned this particular thing. It's like now I'm looking in my rearview mirror and it's whatever. Let's say it's someone in an E46 M3 and I'm looking ahead and it's this 69 Stingray like moving at a quick clip through this epic scenery and the 2002s over there and we're just all having a great drive.
And you're like honking at him and being like, "Get the fuck
And I'm
out
like
of the
in
way."
the
Flashing
I'm
your
like flashing my,
brights.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
like,
in the
dude, I gotta
opposite-
get there.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like a Ace Ventura.
Yeah, out of
it.
it. You're like, "I'm not gonna let you enjoy this. Go." All right. Piston Drift says, "What does Ben think about electrification? How do brands who have made a living on great sounding V8s cough and aluminum architecture make the transition to heavy ass battery cars?"
I'm curious what aluminum architecture has to do with it.
Wait.
Well, no, in
You
the
can
question.
still have aluminum architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I don't know
like
that.
it's going to be more important to keep centers of gravity low. I think electrification is really interesting as brands move that way. I don't know if it's the ultimate future. Like Art was saying earlier, I think that there's going to be some kind of e-fuel solution. I personally am a big fan of plug-in hybrids. I think that they suit most people's needs on a daily basis, and you know, you can still do that road trip, but also do all the other stuff with your car. But there's a lot of opportunity there, and I think that for luxury cars and even for non-luxury cars, I mean, yeah, it's going to be an interesting future. I don't know how it's going to play out yet, but I'm cautiously optimistic is how I would describe it.
I think it's akin to like the AMG going EV, like that whole like realm, right? Like of that type of a car, like because you know Jags are historically relatively sporty or luxurious or both.
Yeah.
And so like, and as he's saying, right, like there is a bit of a visceralness. There's a noise. There's a sound. There's something there, right? And you're eliminating that, right? Whether it be a supercharger or whether it be like that V8. And now you're by electrifying it, you're removing like kind of a key element of the brand, right? That defined it for so long. And I don't know how Mercedes is going to do it. Obviously, we had a little bit of an experience with the what was it? Not is it the EQS?
Yeah,
and
EQS.
Yeah,
and
they're trying to do something.
It's weird. Yeah,
It
it's
makes like growling noises.
yeah.
And stuff.
I mean it's a different
and
thing.
it shakes.
Yeah.
Farting noises.
Yeah,
But
farts and shakes.
How it
Shakes
redefines
its
it.
butt. It goes-
Tesla farts.
but it shakes. It does a little.
It's like it like builds up
peculiar.
It's like a
energy
dog,
or something,
yeah.
right? Yeah. I don't know how they're going to
Like a
redefine
cat
that
before it pounces.
or reinvent themselves. Rather, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and it's crazy. These brands like Porsche, like the next Cayman and Boxster, are going to be electric.
Yeah.
Feels like
I don't know how I feel.
the wrong
That's-
car to make electric.
Why
right?
not make the Macan and the Cayenne electric first?
Well, they're doing that too, I
I don't
guess.
know.
But
That
yeah.
makes perfect
I can't-
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because that makes exactly.
Yeah.
There- Can we just get back to the fact that our network of electricity can't support this?
Well,
right?
I know. Yeah.
Like, are we?
No, and
no
there's
one's
nowhere
paying
to
attention
charge. There's nowhere to charge.
Nowhere to charge.
Like
My
yeah.
favorite one is when
We have one Electrify America charging station in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And we
Really?
have 2 in the county, I believe. No, we have 2 in the county.
And there's a lot of
And
electric cars here.
There's
Lots.
This is a county of 350,000 people, and we have 2.
Yeah.
And then we have like a couple Tesla chargers.
Yep.
You know, power whatever
That
would like
work sometimes.
you know, and then that's
60% of the time
Yeah, I
it
don't
works
know.
every time.
yeah.
Yeah. I just don't get it.
and then there's a couple like little shitty like blink chargers that don't even work and
Yeah.
you know stuff like that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a scenario where I think like they're pushing the government's pressuring the manufacturers, but like so like hopefully the fact that it's kind of like if you build it, they will come, right? But
Yeah.
but backwards, it's like the fact that there's so
Right.
much demand, like they have to step up their game.
If you
Otherwise
build
people-
it, we have
So-
to build an infrastructure.
My thinking is that at some point they're going to be like, all right, we were wrong, guys. Let's just like go about it. Like, hey, we'll like, you know, this 2030 or whatever the date is.
Yeah.
Let's just, it's going to be like in the future, but it's not going to be then.
Like indefinite.
You know, they're just going to take
Yeah.
it away.
Just
and
continue
then
working
I
towards
hope that the car companies aren't so far along that they're full in on electric and they can't go back.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
give
Like,
up-
yeah.
they give
I
up
hope that they don't
factories
they don't like totally get rid of combustion. They don't like, yeah, they give up factories. They're all this. They're full in. They're like, well, we're full in now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone's fucked.
And now there's no good.
Now there's
then
no
good
charging
option.
infrastructure.
I wonder
there's
what-
no
yeah.
gas cars.
Just
There's-
look at what Toyota does. Akio Toyota, you know, arguably the head of one of the largest car companies in the world, has said, I'm trepidatious about the future of EVs.
he's not
So-
head of shit, dude.
Well, not anymore. But like, you know, I think he expressed concern about it, similar to your concerns about
yeah, and
infrastructure
he got
and
so much
everything.
flack about that.
And everybody called him, you know, resistant to
right,
change and
right.
everything. And
Yeah.
it's just like, no, he's being realistic. There's a reason why Toyota hasn't gone to turbocharging and stuff yet. For the vast majority, they are now with some of their products, but it's like they were so good at combustion that they were clean enough and efficient enough without turbos that they could pass all the regs. So it's like,
And also no pure electric Toyotas, right?
just one now, the
I mean, the-
BZ4XE, but
yeah.
no, they're
Look at the
they're.
RAV4 for a second.
Right.
I think that hybrids and PHEVs is a logical next step, and then we can look at. But you know, I've driven the Taycan, I've driven the I-Pace, I've driven all those, and they drive great. There's no arguing. It's a great driving vehicle, but
and it's great for a certain it's a great for like my commute, right?
Absolutely.
But it doesn't make sense. Like if that's the thing you're saying, a lot of people are like, well, most people drive 80% of people's driving is under 60 miles a day or something like that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It would fit within the realm of having an EV. So you're kind of like, people still want to buy cars for that last couple percent, but it's more than 1%. It's not like
definitely is.
it's the last like 15%, right?
Easily.
Or 20%, because that's true. Like most of them, like even for me, if I just had the Polestar and that was like my family car, it wouldn't really work, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a family, like we go on trips every other weekend and stuff. So my wife has to have a combustion car.
Yep.
And if we relied on the charging network,
It's like those stories
be
of people
effed.
going like from
going to Yosemite or something.
LA to Vegas, and you get to that Barstow charger, and there's a line a mile long.
Oh, the Tesla one?
Yeah.
Madonna Inn on the 101 Thanksgiving weekend, the line stretches a mile
I'm sure
at the Tesla supercharger.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what's the
but-
situation in Europe. Like I haven't really looked into it. Like I feel like they're a little more ahead of this than we are, right?
You would like to think so.
yeah,
but
but especially
They have
like,
less cars though.
Yeah, like Holland in particular. Like it's like, you
But
go there and it's
the-
almost all cars are electric now, right? Like
Well,
modern
Sweden,
cars.
I think, is almost all EVs.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But their population is what?
6.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about like way smaller
it's
than
also
California.
distances,
Yeah.
right? Like there's also
they
that's
don't
another
drive
thing.
like we drive.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, don't drive like you drive, Lane.
I mean,
Nobody
they don't
drives
commute
like
we
Lane
do.
drives,
It
yeah.
would be like the way we drive. You go through multiple countries,
do they
Oh,
get
yeah.
temp in the tires and dick around a little bit? Or?
Move around, maybe just see how it feels.
Traction control off.
Yeah,
Hushy
definitely.
Pushy has a question here, and it's blowing my mind. I don't know
boy.
what's happening right now. I feel like I'm in a Matrix situation.
See.
Do you guys have any love for the Mitsubishi Raider, which is the Mighty Max of the 2000s? They were even built in the town of Warren, Michigan.
That alone should give you an incentive.
I think
to
we
like it,
found
especially-
Warren's next car.
Well, no.
I've seen like 3 of them in my life.
Dude, you weren't here, but we had this. Lane's texting people, but we had a.
I'm listening.
What'd I say?
We have a what? Dude?
That was like my
We
son.
have a-
That was
What
my
do we have, eh?
My 6-year-old, like, yeah, dude, I wash my hands, whatever.
Didn't use water, but I washed them.
This was the trivia question from last week, was about the Mitsubishi Raider. Totally random.
Yep.
And did you
They
weren't
came with
here-
the V8.
I wasn't here.
You weren't here. It's based on a Dodge Dakota, but this is literally the question. So, Hushy Pushy, when you hear this, you'll already
Oh
heard.
yeah, because ours didn't air yet.
yeah.
Oh, I see
Oh,
what you
that's
mean.
crazy.
Oh, he actually it hasn't published.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
I heard
Yeah.
it because we're the editing
Out
stuff.
of
Yeah,
nowhere,
yeah.
he's bringing up the Mitsubishi Raider, which we talked about last episode.
Yeah.
So, if you want to go back
It
to
was on.
I gotcha. Yeah,
trivia.
I do remember it came up. I can't remember why.
Trivia.
Oh, it was trivia.
yeah, but were you here?
Yeah, because you were no. I listened to the show just for editing purposes.
Yeah.
but you.
Ali
I
and
remember
Nick were
it was a Durango based truck, right?
No, it's a Dodge Dakota based.
Oh, Dakota
Dakota
based. Okay.
based.
Mitsubishi Raider.
Gotcha.
Anyways,
I mean,
it's very
enthusiast. Enthusiast, though. That's
No love for it. First of all, it's a pile of junk, and I'm glad it was built in Warren, Michigan. That's all I can say. I've been to Warren, Michigan too.
I did not know they were built in the U.S.
It's a
Me
Dodge
neither.
Dakota. I'll say that
I've
again.
I maybe have seen 3 of them. They're
I saw one the other day.
trucks.
That's what spawned the trivia question, and now Hushy Pushy is reading my mind. Or the
what is the
podcast.
Montero looking one? Isn't that also a Raider?
No, it was just the Montero.
No, there was a Dodge version of that.
Outlander?
No,
No, it was a. Not you're thinking of Suzu Ascender
no. It was
or what is it
shit,
called?
I
What
think
was
it
the-
was
there
also
a-
a Raider.
A Zuzu based.
1987 Dodge Raider.
Oh, 87.
Oh, 87.
I mean, yeah, but that was. I'm just saying the Raider was also
Yes, yes.
a
yeah, the
Montero
Zuzu
thing.
Trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
So that's the
Oh, wait,
one.
Montero.
That's why I
Oh.
was confused.
Is that a
I thought we
Trooper
were
or
talking about
Montero?
that at first.
like a two-door trooper kind of.
Ah.
Dodge
I think it
Ram
looks
Raider.
cool.
I mean, it's literally a Montero 2-door.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, they're super cool looking. I mean,
But these are the 2000s gross.
But you're talking about the trucks,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
are,
It's
but
a
it's a boxy big
four-door-
old thing.
it's
Yeah.
not
If,
boxy.
if you listen to that podcast,
really
I
boxy.
say Isuzu Trooper at
little
first was
roundy.
my answer.
and I was thinking late trooper, which is the rounded one.
Yeah, and I was thinking that squared off one.
2000s.
It just reminds me of how bad early 2000s like domestic interiors were.
They're terrible.
Oh my
Buttons
god,
and
worst.
plastic.
dude.
The worst.
Yeah, there's 996s in here. Don't say that too loud.
I don't mind the 996 interior.
What? They're the worst.
I also don't think they're that bad because there's not that
Ford
much to them.
Taurus. All right, Kellen Patler says new segment suggestion instead of
New one.
fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, geez.
Wreck, race, daily.
Like we've never heard that, Kellen. Come on.
Lane hate. Right.
Well, have we not heard every iteration of?
I've never heard that, Kellen. I love the idea. Pick any 3 cars and choose which you'd wreck, race, and daily. First round, Ben Roget edition.
Oh, God.
Jaguar F-Type, Shelby GT350R, Lotus Emira.
Lodi Emir.
Are you getting a Lodi Emira?
I have one on order, courtesy of our friend Brennan Dolan. However, that order is now potentially in jeopardy, so my mind is wandering to other things. I've spent a lot of time recently on BAT, Car Gurus, and Cars and Bids, just looking at stuff. I like Car Gurus. Car Gurus gives you like
awesome.
the price index against like my.
Oh yeah, because it
out.
shows
But
you
they-
all the cars that have sold in the past.
But
and
they
it
all
shows
do
you
that.
days at that dealer and everything.
They all do that now, right? Isn't that kind of other sites have taken on
There's
that?
True
Like good
Car
deal,
also.
good deal,
Yeah.
bad deal.
I stick to Car Gurus. I'm
Yeah,
brand loyal.
Cargers is pretty
That's
solid.
cool. Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, wait a minute. So
Wreck,
what
race,
is what is
daily.
in jeopardy about the order?
They're talking about raising MSRPs by like 15 to 20%, which is a little.
It's very significant.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's pretty significant on a car that, you know, I was already just like, I can stretch for this now. But so, yeah, if anybody has recommendations and like
So it takes it from like $100,000 car to 115.
I think it takes it from like, because the first edition started at 94. So I was figuring the base would be about 85, 86.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to bump it north of 100 starting. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of just like, okay, why not just scale it back now and get
Yeah, yeah.
something else? So, but I mean, if you guys want to do a mirror, that's fine. We can
All right,
choose which
so
of my cars to
race,
crash
wreck,
daily.
daily.
It's
what are you doing?
I mean,
yeah, wreck,
Oh, it's
race,
it's
daily.
for you, right? This is a
I
question.
mean, I'm racing the Emira.
Jaguar,
I'm-
Mustang, Emira.
no, it's for everyone.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
for Ben
I'm-
Roget.
I think he wants to know
It's
which of my
his
cars, you
cars,
guys
yeah.
want to kill.
Oh, I see.
And I know the answer.
I mean, we're killing the Mustang,
Oh,
we're racing the Emira, and we're dailying the Range Rover.
F-Type.
Oh, F-Type you have.
You can daily the Range
Oh,
Rover.
I'm taking the Range Rover.
Take the Range Rover.
All right, I'm wrecking the F-Type.
Me too.
I
hate that
I'm
car.
racing
Oh,
the GT350R,
Yep.
and I'm dailying the Emira.
I'm with Art.
That would be my
I
own
agree.
approach.
Round 2. My cars. Which would you wreck? Race daily. Ivan Stewart Tundra. Definitely racing that. E36 M3 or the Vanagon.
Ooh, let's see.
Wreck the Vanagon, daily the Tundra, race the E36.
I mean, you kind of have to, unfortunately.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm Vanagon. Sorry. Sorry,
Yeah.
no one loves you. It's terrible.
Yeah,
What are you
that's the
doing?
answer.
What are you doing, Warren?
I guess the same.
What are you going to do with the Vanagon? You're not going to daily the Vanagon.
Daily the
Wait, what about Warren's cars? Or no, sorry, Lane's
Lane's
cars.
is
Lane's
next.
got
Round 3.
17
I
different
feel
cars.
like he
Lane's
didn't do
cars.
Art. I
He
commented
didn't. He
on
said,
there.
fuck Art.
And I
my
said,
shit.
what's up,
Sorry,
Art?
Art.
My shit.
Oh,
you did.
I said, poor
Nice.
Art.
You left me out.
Poor Art.
Lane's is 911, the Polestar, the Boxster S.
Yeah.
All right.
Well-
Daily, Polestar,
Yeah.
wreck, the 911, race, the Boxster S.
Wow.
I'm gonna go vintage on this one and
You want
race
daily the
I wanna-
911?
I'm gonna
No,
race.
I was going to
Daily
daily
the
the
Polestar.
I'm gonna
911.
race the 911, daily
Race
the
the
Polestar.
Polestar.
Yeah. You could
Race-
daily
No,
the
not race the
Boxster, too.
Polestar. I could, but I want to daily the
Chinese
What if
electric
you, what
car.
if you like totally modded that Polestar for race action?
Like a modified Tesla?
Yeah.
like an
Yeah, it
IQ
is.
Cage,
race
one
car.
seat, lowered, wing.
Megan,
it would be
racing
very
coils.
fast, but it wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Rip
yeah.
those Olins out and put in
Okay.
some Megan racing coils.
Time attack car?
Could be exhilarating.
Racing
yeah.
a G body sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
It does.
I would daily the G body.
So what are you reckoning?
Whoa.
Polestar?
Wrecking ball. No, I'm dailying the Polestar. I'm wrecking the Cayman.
The Boxster.
Boxster.
I mean the Boxster safely though, like head-on collision because I don't want to roll
How is
over.
a head-on collision safe?
I mean, it's better than rolling over in the
Safely.
car.
That's true.
It has
Branches.
good rollover.
But there's branches and shit out there, you know. So.
It has pop-up things.
Oh, I guess you can just
yeah,
roll. You
yeah.
can roll it wherever
I
you
was gonna
want.
say,
Right?
it
Just
saved
like
him
it-
from
like
dogs.
it's like at
can
like
roll-
Salinas Airport or something.
Yeah,
Wide open.
You can roll however you want, dude. That's it for questions. Good job, guys. I think you did really well.
Yeah, I'm really upset that Kellen didn't ask about Art's cars.
Yeah, thanks, Lane.
Like, I don't really-
Mine don't even count. Yeah.
Forgot about Art. All right, let's see. Art's got a Skyline, a ZHP, and nothing else.
Well, you have to do
E30.
Yeah, E30.
I forgot about that.
And you could have said E36 too. He just sold.
Gone.
Just sold
You could've-
them.
oh,
But no
Cayenne.
one knew.
Gone.
He just
Could have said
or
Cayenne.
maybe-
Gone.
Yeah, Cayenne too.
No, Cayenne's not.
E30 then.
Yeah, E30,
ZHP.
ZHP, Skyline.
Yeah.
All right.
Dang. Yeah. You have to wreck the E30 really.
I'd
well?
wreck the ZHP. I think it does nothing for me.
Oh, you can just.
Oh, I'd wreck the
Skyline then?
ZHP, daily
Yeah,
Skyline.
daily Skyline.
You
And
wouldn't
then
race
race
the E30?
Sure, dude. It's gonna have a little Honda
Why not race
K24.
Why not race the Skyline?
Because I don't want to
The
daily
daily
the
E30 's
E30.
All-wheel drive. The steering's too numb for him. He likes steering feedback.
I
actually
want
really
to daily
Just
the.
kidding.
He doesn't know.
I want to daily the E. I don't know.
He's not like, oh, I can't drive this because of the steering.
The most recent car I hated the steering was the Corvette.
Oh yeah.
I
Which
mean,
one?
It was worse
The
than a
C8
GTR.
was
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, it was
You could still
quick,
drive
sharp,
it.
but not.
No, but it was
feel.
like it made it very numb.
Like video gamey?
very
like
much. Yeah,
beyond,
it's like
yeah.
the
That's exactly what you'd
cliche
expect.
stereotype.
Zero
Wow.
feel.
I haven't driven one.
No, it's not what I expect. I expect to have a lot more feel.
Corvette style. You haven't
It's a
driven
really
a
good
lot
car.
of Corvettes,
driving
mister.
wise. I mean, it's handles really well, brakes really well.
I kind of
rides
like
really well.
Corvettes.
I bet you do.
Yeah, you're a
Hey.
Mustang guy, dude.
Yeah. The visor doesn't fall from the Lodi.
You know how many Tommy Bahama
Far
shirts I
from
own?
Lodi.
My New Balance collection is on point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you though. I mean, it's because the Skyline. I mean, you could race it, but it's like
Why wouldn't
it's
you
a
race
little-
it?
Because I want to daily it. I'd
Yeah,
rather
well,
be in
it's
it more.
That's the thing is, it,
All
Oh,
those
yeah.
drive-throughs. You
What?
can't reach them.
Drive-through.
Every ticket-
he'll
When's
just
the
get-
last
he'll
time you
just
went
get
When was the last
one.
time I went to a drive-through?
Every ticket you go
We don't even
through-
have drive-throughs in
Every
Santa Cruz.
ticket.
What is that thing called?
The claw.
The claw.
The
Just get a
claw.
claw, dude. You'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Dude,
I slept
Yeah.
the claw.
actually, the only time I go through is like parking garages.
Parking
downtown
garages.
or something.
Thank
Claw,
you,
dude.
Lane.
Just little
Yeah,
ticket.
use the claw.
Tour booth.
I need to get
Tour
one.
booth. Toll booth.
Toll booth.
Tour
Toll
booth.
booth, Willie. Tour booth.
That sounds interesting.
When you're touring.
Yeah.
Grand touring booth.
I just want to race the Skyline. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be rad.
I want like full JTCC
Oh shit, all in.
To scuba or
Super
scuba
GT,
circuit.
old school, yeah.
scuba.
Scuba.
Yeah, maybe a
Scuba diving.
Fuji.
Fuji. Ooh.
I
circuit.
like it. And then, so you would daily E30, or
I'd daily ZHP, and I'd crush that old piece of shit back there.
like that Forsaken piece of junk?
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I hate those
it's
cars.
dusty as
Yeah.
ice.
No, they just don't make great dailies. Your ZHP is a way better.
It,
daily.
it would be. I agree.
Yeah.
Is your swap going to be done before the next rally?
No.
I don't even know when.
God,
I
are
mean,
you crazy?
he said that as soon as he was done with that, he would start it.
I'll give you
so-
next rally.
Wait a minute.
2025.
Do you have studs in your wheels yet?
No.
Dude, I'm weighed. I don't know
It's
when
nothing.
my shit's not
I'm
happening.
taking my M3 somewhere else to get worked on.
It's over.
It's over. I can't get anything done.
Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, so I can't take the E30 to get smogged because I need the tie rods done. Remember the tie rods like broke
Oh,
on the
I
way down.
remember.
So
You're next in line, and it's
you riding
not-
dirty?
Hasn't happened.
no. I mean, the tags expire in May, but I want to smog it before the swap. See,
Yeah. See?
so but
You
I
must
need to
have
get
2
the stuff
free
done.
years of driving
But I need to fix the tie rod first before I can drive it over the hill.
without having to smog.
Makes
It's
sense.
dangerous right now.
You guys, anything else? Anything else to add before trivia? You want to talk about Morning Motors?
I
You
have a
wanna talk
couple
about-
Motors was
DWA or
great.
DW, I was gonna say DWA project car updates, old school
I
style.
like DWA project.
So I went and did a little tune-up action on the ZHP. Oil change, filters. Did cabin filter, air filter.
I'm really surprised you do oil changes still at home.
That's like the one thing that's like supposed to be really
It's
easy,
such a pain
right?
in the ass though, because you basically to pay someone to do it, it's almost cheaper.
Time cost of money.
But it's
time,
like-
time cost of time.
Go on. I think you're on my
No,
side.
yeah, I'm on your side. I
It's
think
like
I
the
think
most like redeeming thing normally with
It's
like
the
so little effort.
messiest- it's-
Messiest? Why is
Yeah,
it so
it
messy?
is
Gotta deal with
messy.
fucking used oil.
Yeah, it's so. I have a really large like sealed container
And
that
then
it goes
what?
he
into.
pours it down his hill.
I know. What are you doing with it?
And then Recology sends me 3
Okay,
5-gallon
yeah,
jugs.
you're
I
making
transfer
my
that.
case here.
I leave them
Yeah,
out on
yeah,
the curb
transferring
with
oil.
I leave them on the curb with my trash, and they are gone.
Hand
It's
somebody else the
filters.
keys.
No,
Okay,
I don't.
but
But
go
then I
on.
have to
You
go
have some
somewhere. And
weird
like, but I
about
like
it.
to work on my cars to a certain extent without getting too
That's
crazy.
the one
And
thing.
that's
It's like
one
you
thing-
don't need to do that. Like the other stuff, you don't want someone to fuck it up. But like an oil change,
No,
it's
that
like
gets.
just-
I've heard of many over tightened like filters and all kinds of weird shit. Like I mean,
if you go
but
to a
anyways, here's
riff
the
ass-
here's the
riff ass.
irony of all this, right? This is supposed to be the easiest thing in the world.
Oh, jeez.
So I go through and do the filters. I do the oil. I drain the oil, first, of course, I crack the oil filter housing because you want to, a little vacuum
Making
action.
Warren's
Cracked
case
it?
yet again.
No, you just crack
Open it.
Open it. Yeah, and then
So it
and so I remove the bolt. That's fine. And then my daughter's helping me. My 7-year-old's like handing me tools, and she's really into it. And I have
Okay,
my
that's
torque
cool.
wrench, and I'm like showing her, you use this tool so that it stops at a certain like I described it as like force, right? Like you
I've
want to
never
stop it.
torqued an oil
Yeah, me
pan bolt
either.
in my life.
I've
Yeah.
only used torque
I've
wrenches.
never known a single person
except
that
for
used a torque wrench.
well, maybe about 10 years ago I wouldn't have.
And
but-
also in our shop, maybe 5,000 oil changes. Never used a torque wrench.
Yeah.
Well, so
never
I-
seen anyone use a torque wrench on an oil.
I use torque wrenches on as much as I can, right? So then this one in particular, I went 18 foot-pounds, right? And I
I'm
went,
going to know the spec.
turned
Yeah.
it, nothing. I do it again, no click, and then it just spins freely.
I'm going to offer you advice. You don't have to use it, but just go. Done. That's it.
Yeah, it's good. But so here's the thing, right? So
Yeah.
now I snap the freaking head off of the bolt.
That,
But
is there anything worse than that feeling where it goes click?
Oh
it was
my
bad.
god! When it's
it was bad, and so
fully tight, and then hey,
So-
I can still turn.
the thing is with these bolts is that they're hollow on purpose so that the heads snap off and it doesn't damage the aluminum oil pan. So basically it's relatively easy to get out, like if it didn't like really get
Yeah.
nasty in there. So I shoved like a screwdriver just with enough friction in there and just was able to back it all the way out. And I had a back out, like my back out set somewhere that disappeared. So I'm like, I'm just going to sacrifice the screwdriver.
So it was tight in there. It wasn't leaking. You already filled it with oil or no?
No, I hadn't. No. I actually, I just tightened it.
So the oil
and then
came
I was,
out already, or
I had no
You're
oil. Well,
retightening
and then I was putting it back on,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I was going to put oil in it.
got
And
you. So it was when you were putting it on.
when I was putting it
Yeah.
on, and so that sheared off. I went on Amazon right away. I knew that I knew the thread pitch, and it was an M12 1.5 bolt, and I first searched for BMW, and there just so happened to be an overnight one from on Prime. With a magnet on it, which was really nice, and so I got it the
Nice.
next morning, and
Yeah.
I sorted it out.
You got that torque wrench back out there?
And I went, got the torque wrench, and I did not.
then he
I got a
snapped
short.
another one.
I got a short handle fucking ratchet.
You know what I could see doing? I could see like looking up the torque spec, and it's like, oh, go 25. I'm like, okay, and then it's like, oh no, actually that's wrong. Finding those torque specs feels
Yeah.
like
Hard
a.
to-
So-
Yeah.
or because some of them are also really, really low. It's like it feels uncomfortable. It's like, that's not.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and usually
this
they
is
have a
that
little
one?
crush washer, like a brand. You
They
put a
do,
new
yeah.
crush washer every time,
Yeah.
so you kind of like you just know how it, where it's supposed to be.
So that was that. But now it's all fresh oil and
Nice.
filters.
How'd the
and
oil
all that
look come
stuff.
out?
It was bad. I mean, it was. I had the thing is that it didn't have that many miles on it, but it was really old. So I have the record of the last oil change, and the oil was like 3 years old.
Yeah.
But it had when I got the car, it had like 1,500 miles on the oil.
Yeah, but
And-
three.
And I
3
drove.
years is-
It was one of those things, right? Like I meant to get around to it. Yeah, am I gonna drop it off? Like all this other shit.
Right,
and so
right.
I'm like, all right, I just did it. I added maybe 2,000 miles to the car, and then I did it finally. So it was not
just
good.
time, like age. is
Yeah.
bad for
Oh,
that
absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah. And so that was done, and then I ordered a part for my Skyline from Japan.
Oh yeah.
Did not overnight it though.
No.
So everyone knows that my headlights are $10,000 to $15,000 on eBay for new old stock ones.
Are they
Wait,
really that
what?
bad though? I don't remember.
They're
them-
crazed in a weird way, like that. The
Like,
actual
is it
plastic.
just for your because you know to look for it, or is
no,
like
Lane saw it. It's like it's weird. Like if you look at them head
Dude,
on,
it's so bad.
it's really bad.
Is it?
really
So straight on in the direct sunlight, you don't really see it.
okay?
If you move at all, it just becomes like a sea of cracks.
Right.
And it's yellowed cracks.
Yeah.
and it almost and in certain angles,
It
with
is
the
pretty
right side,
yellow.
It like
Really?
it goes. It almost like it makes the plastic like
No, it's just like a
not
full
even
like haze.
Yeah, it's the haze exactly.
It's
not
like
even-
it's almost like a privacy glass. Like,
Yeah. You
it's
can't
like
even see
like
the
if you turn
lights.
it to you can't see the lights behind it at
And
all.
so now it's
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, they're basically it's crazy.
crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So when I first got it, I polished them, and I thought, I'm like, oh, okay, that looks good. And then I saw them in the sunlight. I'm like, shit, no, it didn't do anything, because it's actually the plastic itself is it has like these
just
micro cracks in it.
Worn out.
Yep. And so I found a place in Japan that is reproducing them. And they sell the lenses with like the bead kit to put in the actual, because they're sandwiched, right? So you remove the lens,
Okay.
and there's a bead that goes into that recess on the back of the housing. So they sell you the whole thing.
And this has a pretty high possibility of getting to be a messy job.
I don't know. We'll see. I've done
So
it before.
Connor
look
Coons
right.
just did this on his E46 wagon.
Oh, really?
He
just
put
the
just
lenses,
the
yeah.
lenses. Yeah.
Just the lenses?
So
Yeah,
the
how
worst
you can
part
do that.
is removing the old stuff, but like you heat them up, right? And the new one isn't like a squeeze tube, like a freaking
Oh, it's like
RTV.
a line?
It's an actual like bead, like a
Like a gasket?
like a gasket, but it's very malleable and it's kind of like gummy.
Yeah.
So you basically just put it in there and then you just sandwich it back together. I think there's a high probability of little tabs breaking, probably, or little things like that.
Yeah, how old is that plastic?
Yeah,
Like
it's
25
original.
years?
It's
Yeah.
going to be a project.
Yeah,
but
so I was hoping to have this done before the photo shoot that we're going to do here for Griot's Garage in like 10 days or 7 days now. And these were supposed to be here by now. And I just got an update earlier today that they're arriving on the 5th, which is when we're doing the photo shoot. So it's not happening. If I saw that they were going to arrive within a couple days,
Yeah.
I would have just disassembled the headlights in advance.
been ready, but then what
And
if they
then-
don't come or it's
Yeah.
not right? Or
Yeah, and then I just don't drive my, or I could just get the blanks, dude, like JTCC or just Super
yes,
GT
yes,
style.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then just
CHP
start
would
that
love
process, Pennzoil livery, and then just take it from there. You know,
Did they make a blank cheap? Like
I don't know about cheap,
filler?
but there are definitely
Just don't
blanks.
drive your car at night and have
Yeah,
a little
that'd
blank.
be kind of
blankety
badass,
blank.
dude.
It would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
Maybe a
Mad
neon,
Max.
like neon orange.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so that's coming, and I'm excited for it because it's really gonna like improve the appearance of the car. That's like the one thing that's really lacking on it. I
That's
think
just one of those projects I feel like it's so difficult to pull off
so.
without getting messy. It's
Well, I
such
mean,
a,
you just oil changes are messy. this
Well,
is messy.
it's like a
oh, this is messy in a different way.
you're thinking like I got 944s. You reseal the rear taillights because against the body,
Okay.
and you have to use that goop stuff, that like
Yep.
rope, like, and it's
Yeah.
super thick.
They
and
call
it's
it
just
dum
like
dum.
yeah, dum dum.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just like tar, basically.
Exactly.
It's such a
And
messy
it starts
job.
getting everywhere, and then it
yeah,
gets
I think did I show you guys
Oozes
these?
out. No.
So it's just like the actual lens, and then
Yeah.
it's the housing inside is blacked out, and it unscrews, so it comes apart into 3 pieces. Then you like put it all.
No,
back
it's
together.
rad. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like Subaru guys do all the time, right? They would take them apart and then paint the insides black.
Yeah, I used to do
and
it.
stuff,
I
yeah.
did it on my Civics back
Put it in
the
your
day,
oven
and,
and yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's smooth. I mean, that's rad.
Me
that
too.
That's an
I hope so
option.
too.
And that's plastic as well. That's
Yeah,
plastic?
it's also
Okay.
plastic.
Yeah.
Plastic, yeah.
I
So-
feel like it's like when people mess with stuff like instrument clusters and try to reseal, like
Yeah.
it's really hard to do it. And it's something your eye is always going to. So, but maybe that'll be straightforward. Japanese
Wish
style.
me luck. Wish me luck.
I wish you all
Fingers
the luck.
crossed.
Wish you all
Send
the
me
luck.
little praying hands and all that stuff.
I
Too.
will.
Yeah. But it's one of those that I have a very strong feeling that it's going to be a multi-weekend project, right? Where I'll start with the disassembly first, then I'll store them, and then like maybe do one. I actually am envisioning taking a picture of one done and one
Yeah,
with
do
it,
one at a time.
and then the
Yeah.
right angle so you can see how bad the other ones were. Yeah, you have to shoot the car like at the right angle and the right lighting, otherwise they look really bad. That's why I never photographed the car. I'm just kidding. It's not true.
Dude,
It's a good looking car.
it's a very good
Sexy
looking car.
yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So, anyways, another successful morning motors. That was just this past weekend.
It was crazy packed.
Very busy. Yeah, we've had one other, maybe 2 that were that busy, but that was a.
I didn't
busy
see,
boy.
but like
I don't know if any were that gnarly.
yeah,
The-
because
we had one.
someone drove up and that came in like later
the
after
back
they cleared
lot,
up,
dude, it
and they
was like
said
people
that-
couldn't even leave.
Well, the whole street, they were saying that it went all the way back to Humble C.
Oh,
it was
wow.
packed. Like
Wow.
I didn't see, but they told me it went all the way back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I think because we missed a month and it's been really bad weather
Dude, it's
here.
been horrible, and this is like the one day you can get your car out. Yeah,
Yeah, and you
and it
can't-
was supposed to rain this week, which it rained today.
You can't drive in a lowered IS 300 with a welded diff when it's raining that hard.
That's true.
It's hard to do.
just
Yeah, yeah.
The one thing though I
Shatter.
do like about these events is that yes, it's very busy from like 8:30 to 9:30. It's packed.
Yeah.
But then at like 10:30 or 10ish, it empties up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then people come in waves, and
Yeah,
Sort of a little bit of a recycle there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Maybe
kinda
that's
cool.
my new strategy since I'm driving 120 miles.
Honestly,
each way.
dude, if you show
It
up
might
at,
be the way.
if you show up at 9:30
Yeah.
or 10,
If you show
you'll
up
get
at
a spot.
10,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get to see everything then, but you're probably not seeing everything anyways.
No. Too busy serving trunk mimosas.
Yeah, exactly.
Trunk mimosas.
What were
thank you for that,
standouts
by
for
the
you
way.
guys?
There's a cool Baja Bug.
Oh, that thing was really clean.
It was nice.
That Ford F100 was cool.
Yeah, it
just
was
parked in
cool.
the front.
That was very cool.
Green
was
and
that?
green and tan.
Yeah.
Oh, right, the first spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a really nice Austin Healey, like at 3,000. or
Oh,
something.
The one that had the
Or-
lay down windshield or the other one?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
there were
The
two.
lay down
green
windshield.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, the blue one was like a race car kind of thing.
British Racing Green.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really. Oh, there was a nice lineup of like Polaris Silver or Iridium Silver, whatever color that was for the BMWs.
Oh, like Sawyer.
Oh, it was like 2003 dealership.
Yeah.
With all the
Yeah.
it
There was the E39 Touring and the M5 and
Yeah,
stuff.
Sawyer's wagon was there.
An M3, our buddy Arthur's 7 Series. Anyways, all silver BMWs of the era. That was kind of
Yeah.
cool. It was funny. I parked the M3, and then the guys with the other M3s like parked next, like they moved.
One over from
Park-
you. Yeah.
parked over.
Yeah, there was a little yellow
Bill-
car crew.
Yeah.
Little Chrysler Crossfire.
Yep. And there was a 355 Spider.
Was that
yellow?
the car that was at our thing?
I think so.
It was. I thought so, right?
Yeah.
So it might be Georgie's friend. I actually didn't make
Well,
that
he's
connection.
friends with he went
Doug.
to lunch. Yeah.
Okay.
He's friends with Doug.
He's got that. He's got a Viper and a
Where does he live?
GT3 Bay Area, which I know doesn't narrow it down, but
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's interesting. Yeah, I really, really like that 912 and that Lido Gold.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Man, it
yeah.
was so fucking cool.
That one
it
makes
was perfect.
makes the rounds.
Like it had everything, like all the stuff, like all the right stuff, and it was so well executed. That's
Yeah.
a really nice car.
I think MAR did a shoot on that for Panorama.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful car.
Stephen Cottrell's 512 TR was pretty sweet.
That was
It was
so-
a Testarossa.
It was a Testarossa.
Or
You know what
it
threw me
was?
off is the
Yeah.
painted lip.
Yeah.
So because it was all painted
And the
all
wheels.
red.
But it's easy to tell. Like the,
Oh.
Yeah,
Is it?
the lights are smaller too on the 512, right?
Ah,
Yeah, but I just
it fooled
was
me.
one of those things. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
TR.
I took a picture of it next to the
that was
Rubens Evo
great,
9.
great photo.
Dude, how crazy
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah, that's
it's
unbelievable.
and you know, of course, the Evo's it's like 2 inches, you know, more forward,
Sure,
but
but
it's still like the whole
height and
bulbousness and the
everything.
height.
Yeah.
And the Testarossa was like the pig back in the day.
It was
yeah.
huge. Yeah, you think about you look at it on its own and it looks massive, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I like someone's comment. It was like I always you know, like thought of a Testarossa as the size of a B2 bomber, both in shape and size, right? Like,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
it's got that like wide rear. But yeah, that was an interesting pair.
And then I made Eric bring a cool car. He brought his Evo 9.
Oh, you made him?
I'd never
yeah.
seen that car.
it's all
Dude,
time
he
attacked
never
out.
brings it out.
Yeah.
Dude. It
That's
has
rad.
that thing has a Cosworth 2.2 liter engine.
What do you mean? It's a Mitsubishi built by Cosworth?
Yeah, dude. After he had the engine built for it.
Oh,
2.2 liter.
yeah. What's in
Which-
it normally? A 2 liter?
A 2 liter. And it has like every go fast part you can get, like back in the day.
Gold
You know,
wing
like
and-
he bought that car brand new.
It's got an
Yeah.
air intake
And
in the
it
headlight.
has, I think it has 4,200 miles on it.
That's crazy. It
Yeah,
looked
he's
all
driven that on a
dusty,
couple
too.
little like day rallies before, right? I've
He's
seen
driven
it
his gray
before.
one more.
Oh, is that the one? That
So
you-
this
he
one
had-
was gray.
Oh, sorry. He
drove the
drives the
black
black
one.
one.
But the gray one was the one. Or
So the black
one
one-
of them got
the
run
black
into,
one got
right?
hit.
Black one.
Okay, the
but he
black one
still
got-
has it. And his black one had like 30,000 miles. He bought that.
Yeah, they're
one.
both lower
like,
mileage,
Yeah,
yeah.
he had
Yeah.
both of them. So,
Yeah.
but this one's like 4,000 something miles on
That's
it,
wild.
and it has it has the carbon fiber hood you would get, like the dry carbon
It's
one.
got all the aero
like-
bits, but it's funny because it's
Yeah.
like always super grimy too. So like it's all
it
low
looks all
mileage and
dirty.
like and it's got the best parts, but it's just like
Yeah.
he just keeps it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that car is interesting. I mean, especially I wish we could have gotten it next to a Rubens car.
and
'cause
it's the
same
SE,
car.
which is a 0.5, which is a half year model or whatever. So it has the 5-speed, the strong transmission.
Yeah.
So,
Cool
looking
Interesting
car.
rides.
I will say that
I'm trying to
it
think.
felt like a lot of cars we've seen before at that Morning Motors.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know, not many things stood out as like something.
Oh, you know
new.
what did
I took
stand out to
one
me?
picture the entire day.
Yeah,
What did stand out to me was I forget his name. I apologize. He's a listener. He's an awesome dude. He has the yellow 510 that's all raced out. You know what I'm talking about? And so he brought a really nice Alpine White E36 M3 with a half cage.
No, it's Dom's.
Dom. Yeah, so
His
that,
son-
that
yeah.
car is so rad. It was
Dom,
really
who
nice.
made Warren's
I-
Mitsubishi
Armrest.
armrest.
Armrest. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I meant to take a picture of it and I kept getting distracted and never got around
He's
to it. But it
been
was so
working on that.
clean.
Yeah, it
and-
had like BBS wheels. Or
yeah,
something.
great stance. Like it
didn't
looked
even
really
see it.
nice. Yeah, it was a great looking car.
Yeah,
It's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
there
Good
was. I don't know. Man.
There was a
I'm looking at
taco truck,
pictures.
which I
I'm
think was a
trying to-
hit.
Taco
also
truck.
at the same time, and I know this is, we obviously are, it's a very inclusive, space, if you will. Event.
I will.
Anybody can show up if there's a spot parked there.
Yeah.
But
Would you call it a safe place?
It's amazing, like how ratty their like E46s can get. Like these guys, these kids with like the drift like missiles and shit. Like
I know.
they're so shitty. Like they're like basically like cars that are meant to be
But they're
destroyed, right?
trying to make them shitty.
But they're ratty, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
but I'm not trying to make them shitty. I think that they're just not supposed to be, right? Because it's like a
smashed
shitty cheap car.
windshield and they're still rocking it. Like they're not even attempting to make it.
Yeah, I don't know.
nice.
I mean,
Took the
it's-
bumper off on purpose.
Right.
It's
Stuff like
it's
that.
gnarly. The
Yeah.
whole drift missile thing is a whole other world. Like I drive my cars hard, but I also take really good care of them.
Yeah, you
and like
do,
this is
dude.
like
Traction
just
control off.
driving
Yeah.
your car as hard as possible
I know.
without taking good care of
And-
it, and maybe even pulling the bumper off
And how
and
about
kicking it,
temping the tires?
and just getting
That
it to,
that
was all about the
four-door
PSI. He
the
had
four-door
PSI off.
Malibu with the surfboard on top looked pretty cool.
That was cool.
Well, the other one, there was a lowered Maverick with rims.
Not, but
Oh.
it,
That thing
Mavericks
looks
look
sweet.
Good, man.
Mavericks
That's
do
crazy.
look good.
I think
It
it
looks
looks
a great
sweet.
looking truck, yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
and it looked good lower too.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
there was that it's been there before, but that Toyota, what's the edition? It's like the street style
X-Runner.
X-Runner.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't see it.
The black one.
Yeah,
and
I
it's like
didn't see it.
really
It has
nice.
Bikes on top.
Most of them
Yeah,
are
bikes
red, I
on
feel
top.
Like.
Those
There
had
were
a
lot of red ones.
TRD factory option supercharger, dealer installed accessory.
Nice.
Yeah, so that
Can
thing was
get it.
cool.
Yeah,
and
could get it, right.
Yeah.
there's that green 993 cab with the blue interior.
See, that's been there before.
And it's
Yeah,
been,
that
there
car's been there
before,
before.
but I talked to the dude, the guy who owns it, and he has his Sport Classic coming in a month or two,
Oh, sweet.
Whoa.
like a brand, and it's paint a sample this like really cool 70s green, like a light green.
green guy.
It
Really?
looks pretty rad. Yeah,
Nice.
he showed me pictures of it on the assembly line.
Someone asked me
That's
about
cool.
your car, Ben, and asking, "This is the best green I've ever seen. Is this like a special edition?" I was like, "It might be. He works for Jaguar." And I was just thinking it was the normal green, right? I
It's just the normal factory British racing green.
yeah. But a guy was taking pictures of it, so
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know.
There's an older dude who's come in a like deep blue metallic one with the saddle interior. Have you seen that one? He's brought it before, an F-Type.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I might have a picture. of it
Portofino
somewhere.
blue, probably.
Yeah, it's Portofino blue for sure.
Is
Just
it
kidding. I don't know.
Pogo stick suspension and
Yeah, pogo stick
blind your
suspension.
eyes entertainment
What?
system.
Well,
By your
it's
left knee, there's a dial where
it's
you
got
can
the,
change.
No,
No,
the
I'm
brightness.
talking about when the
Oh, when the sun
the
hits
sun
it.
hits
Oh, and
Yeah.
Dom's dad, Mark, who you're talking about, he didn't bring his Datsun, right?
No, I didn't see
didn't
it.
see
I
it.
thought he was driving the white E36.
Oh, I think he was. Oh, maybe he was.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure I saw him driving.
Yeah,
it.
that makes sense. Okay.
It was. I mean, we pulled up at like 8:42 and barely got a spot, but it was a crazy big event.
Yeah. It was wild.
Is it time that you do a Patreon members only morning motors where it's a little bit smaller, more intimate?
Yeah.
Oh, we were
one
actually
for the
talking
homies?
about doing that at the brewery.
yeah.
I don't know if it's Patreon only, but it's
Or what? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we got secret brewery. Lane will tell you.
off air.
Off air.
Because you're a
We'll just tell
patron.
you
Double
on air.
secret probation edition brewery.
Yeah.
You guys ready for some trivia?
Once I give you
Yes.
guys the second present that I brought.
Oh,
I
second
thought I
present.
thought the wine opener.
I
was
really
the-
want some of this wine, by the way.
Go for it, dude. Go for it. Crack it open. If you want
We
to
have
crack
like
it
literally
open.
shot, we have
wait,
shot
wait.
glasses. Literally.
So my grandma in 1999 ordered a brand new Chrysler PT Cruiser
whoa,
in
brand
this
new.
color,
Yeah.
silver over black,
And they gave you a little.
and they
die
gave
cast.
us a little die cast. And I figured this is from my grandma Betty, and I got her the license
Grandma
plates
Betty.
PT Granny. And then when she sold that and got a Honda Fit because she got smart, and I got her the license plates 1 Fit GMA for the Honda Fit. So she always had cool custom plates.
That's pretty sick, dude.
So now you guys have a PT Cruiser.
Is
That's
that the
awesome.
word? Look at the rear end. of
Daimler
this.
Chrysler Corporation on the bottom.
Look at the
of this.
rear. Just
It's fantastic.
Look at
So
that.
good.
It's like it kind like
It's
so,
like a 32-bit version of a PT
well,
Cruiser.
it looks like almost like a London cab, right? Like the newer.
It's not
cabs.
a compliment.
It
I just-
totally does.
I like it's had the factory plastic bumpers. I mean, that was a rare beast.
We got to get Jay Lamb back on the podcast and just berate him for this stupid PT Cruiser.
Yeah, we
book.
got to read it first, though.
Horrible. Thank you very much, Grandma
man.
Betty.
Dude.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Holler at your boys. Damn.
Where's it? We need to find a special place for it.
I mean, for a real
trash
PT
or-
Cruiser enthusiast, you got to have the original.
Yeah, slick top too.
We
yeah.
have the book
Oh, yeah.
right there.
Slick
by the way,
top.
and it's the same color on the cover of the book that Jay Lamb wrote.
Yeah, it stays on brand.
It's pretty sick.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah, of
for
course.
coming.
Thanks, Ben.
so thoughtful. I appreciate it.
Open
the wine.
Do you want me to open the wine?
It's time
We
for
don't have anything to
trivia.
drink it out of.
Time for trivia. It's trivia time.
It's trivia time.
There's a new plan to build a Formula One style track in the Americas. Where is it going to be? $2.7 billion. Wow. Where do they want to put this crazy track? I'll
That's
give you a hint.
In the Americas or in
It's
America?
Oceanfront.
In America or the Americas?
The America.
Both.
Wait, so that means it's America.
That's right.
Okay, so it's in America. It's by the ocean.
Jeez.
$2.7 billion.
Dude.
New Orleans?
Well, Miami's covered.
Well, that's a really good guess. That'd be crazy, dude. Can you imagine?
No,
Some
that's-
drunk person stumbles onto the track and
Just
gets tagged.
Mardi Gras F1 race.
Is it like New Jersey again?
Dude, I like where your head's at.
It's not Seattle. They have weather.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter your weather.
All right. Is it? Did you say beach or just waterfront?
I'll give you oceanfront.
Newport, Rhode Island?
Do you think it would draw Newport, Rhode Island?
Red
All
Hook,
the mansions. Brooklyn?
Yeah, they do that. They do the E-race there, whatever the Formula E.
Formula E.
Dang, what the hell?
Can you give us what coast?
So they did. Obviously, Miami's a
Carolinas.
thing.
Corpus
Carolina.
Christi, Texas.
It's not on the West Coast.
The OBX Grand Prix.
Is it South Padre Island? They already
Another
have a
Texas
They already
Wait,
have a
here we go.
Texas
Is it
one.
Los Angeles?
Dude,
I mean, I would say Florida, but Florida already has it. But that's not a permanent track. So,
Miami?
yeah, I could
they already
see
have a
like
Miami street track. That
Yeah, but
seems
it's
like
not
the
even
way that
in
they would
Miami.
go.
Vegas isn't by an ocean.
yeah.
Not really.
Well, unless
no.
California falls off,
Yeah,
that's what they're
true.
hoping
That's what
for.
they've been saying.
Ooh.
No,
It's a
Lane,
transform fault,
Lane
everybody.
basically nailed it.
Oh, it did. New Jersey.
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City?
Wow,
Why?
dude, they're gonna rejuvenate Atlantic City.
It was
Again?
approved. I guess there's an old
Approved?
there was an old airport that needs to be revamped, and the track would use the runway and then build this whole oceanfront community retail bullshit and backfill some of the bay in order to do it. $2.7 billion for an F1 track in Atlanta.
And they're
City.
hoping
Whoa.
this like revives the whole city.
I'd
Who
rather
knows?
just watch
This seems like something they
F1.
approve and then it goes
Yeah, I
like
don't think
it
it's gonna-
stalls out and
Yeah, 'cause
remember
wasn't
when
Jersey
New
was
Jersey
approved?
was supposed to? Yeah, Jersey was approved.
Yeah.
yeah. This is a former airport in Atlantic City, New Jersey, unanimously approved by its city council last week.
I mean,
Well,
come on.
yeah, I guess city
I could
council.
say, hey, Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
They were ready to go. All right, next question. The new 2024 Mustang configurator came out,
Oh, God.
and you could tally up all your options, of course, you Mustang fans out there.
I bet
What-
that's a pretty sweet configurator.
Pretty sweet.
I'm not commenting on this.
They actually have a lot of stuff, right? Like I remember looking at.
I don't know. I haven't looked. I'm
But
not
it's like-
that much of
like
a Mustang guy.
Like multiple final drives and like
The launch
all
that we
sorts of
saw,
suspension setups.
the version we saw in person, which I still haven't seen another one on the road, but
I haven't either.
so rad. It had like Recaro seats, and it was
I have
very
Recaro
like,
seats.
cool. Yeah, I know, but
Oh, God.
But it's
real.
yours.
all right. How much is the top dog right now?
What is it? That Black Shadow edition or whatever?
Dark
Black Knight
Horse.
or
But
Dark
they don't
Horse?
have like a GT.
Shadow, Dark
Black Shadow. It's just
No,
a
it is the Dark Horse.
Dark
but
Horse.
it's just
Dark
like
Horse.
a GT, right? With
It's
the
a
package.
It's like a GT performance.
Yeah,
pack
'cause they
kind of
haven't-
thing.
they
Maybe
haven't-
I am that much of a Mustang.
They're not going to
guy.
bring
definitely-
out
you
like
definitely
a
are.
GT
Is there-
350 or GT 500 for a couple years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's not available. So I
Yeah.
think you can
No
pump it higher.
Rs, no GT350s.
No,
it's
it's just a GT with a bunch of shit.
with the
basically.
Black Shadow or whatever it's called.
With a
Dark
Black Shadow
Horse.
package.
Dark Horse.
Dark Knight.
Dark Horse. So it's all blacked out grill and blacked out
Dark.
trim and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
yeah.
dark.
It's
horse.
Dark horse.
This
Dark
horse
horse.
battles
What,
against
and the
demon-
horse is
well,
bright red. or
It's all horsed out.
Well, I think the dark horse battles the demon, right? Like that's like, is there some kind of biblical
no,
thing?
that's,
No.
they're not
I
going.
like that. I like that.
Were there horses in the Bible?
There were horsemen, I think.
Camel,
There were,
it's the camel.
And you're saying with like every single option, you did this
Including
personally?
accessories.
No. You think I did this?
Oh, okay. And
When's the last
and
time
this
you were on
includes-
Ford.com?
This includes like a shirt that you can get with it and
Probably
stuff.
a
Car cover.
And
pen,
a watch.
a visor,
All right.
polo.
I'm gonna say
We don't wear polos.
$52,000.
no.
No.
What?
I'm gonna go with 85.
79,995.
I don't know what that face
Dude,
was.
this Mustang guy,
No,
the most
get outta
Mustang
here.
guy of all time,
No.
79,515,
for a
Hey.
fucking Mustang.
80 grand.
For a Mustang GT,
non-R,
non-R,
non
like,
500.
what a piece of
non-
shit.
I'm embarrassed about myself.
Dude, you nailed it. Art
Nailed it.
was pretty close.
Art was
though.
really close.
I'm embarrassed that
I
they,
went
I'm,
over.
I'm embarrassed that they
I went
priced
over,
it that high.
technically.
This has the Dark Horse handling package for $4,500.
what did
Ooh,
they
that's
put on
pretty
it?
sweet.
Horseshoes?
Tarnished dark,
dark,
high
too.
gloss paint for $5,500 and a 10-speed automatic for $1,600.
Oh, cool, dude.
Dude, there
You
you
guys
go.
are rad.
The Dark Horse, boys. 80 grand.
Dark
Sell your piece of
Horse.
shit today, dude.
Oh my
Come
god!
on,
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna go list the. If you're interested in a GT350R, DM me. I'm gonna order a Dark Horse
I do like the way they look.
I do too, but 80 grand.
for a
For a
non GT350 non-shelf. Not oh
Yeah.
God.
80.
That's ridiculous.
There you go. That's
What's
trivia.
like an
Four-cylinder.
enthusiast spec? No, enthusiast spec
like a
car,
track
like a
pack or
GT
something?
with a track pack.
Yeah.
Track pack
Drive,
one
I'm
or
sure
whatever
it drives
they call
really
it.
well. I mean, I drove the previous
100?
generation.
Yeah, it only weighs.
You
like
guys have to drive
3,900
mine. None of
miles.
you have driven mine yet, have you?
Not yours, yeah, but not yours. I've driven one.
What do you think it
I thought you
runs?
say not going to.
Not your
Never
no,
happening,
Ben,
dude.
no.
I'm sorry, no.
I can't
It's probably
agree to that.
It's probably like 48 grand for a good one, right?
I don't know.
50.
I have no idea.
Why are you looking at me?
You know, dude.
Would that be
something-
like an EcoBoost manual?
No.
Is that what you're looking
No.
V8
Manual,
Don't get
manual
Brembos,
Brembos, yeah, track pack.
for? Okay.
Recaros.
Yeah.
Or like the one that we saw, right?
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Probably 50, 52.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of.
80 grand, boys.
It doesn't have a dark
$80,000.
It doesn't have a
Dark Horse.
$5,500 paint job on a Mustang
No. I'm sure it's so nice.
or an automatic.
so nice.
Yeah.
That sounded like sarcasm more.
Never. All right. Thanks for joining us, Ben.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for everything you do for the whole community. We appreciate you guys.
Thanks for
Thanks,
always chiming in on questions and keep it up.
And for the mimosas.
And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.
Bye bye. Don't do that.